What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for coming back to Cobra TV, and this is a Subcast podcast, whatever you want to call it. This is the show that was designed for you so that you can come online, get on the show, and say what you want to say, speak your mind, have your voice heard in this community. This show is yours. So the phone lines are open on Discord. There's a Discord link down below in the description, somewhere down there. And you can click that, get inside our Discord, and there's a voice room over to the left-hand side called Atlas 102.5 FM. And if you sit inside that Atlas room and talk to a bunch of other Cobros, well then, I will rapture you one by one, drag you kicking and screaming onto the show. So that way you get a chance to voice yourself and give your opinions, no matter what they are. Still getting some things ready here. Tonight we've got guest speaker RayRod. Unless something goes wrong and the Atlas kidnaps him, he will be on the show tonight to talk about a lot of things. Get his opinion on the update, because nobody knows this code more than he does, except for Hello Games. RayRod has been in there caressing the numbers, the zeros and the ones, and the weird coding of No Man's Sky for a very, very long time. And we're going to have him come on the show today and talk a bit about what he's been doing. And here's some pictures of what he's been working on, some forced mods that he's been doing. And what's interesting about RayRod is that his mod, everything that he did in it next was very similar to what he was trying to do, and he had no idea what next was going to be. So I see a lot of inspiration, a lot of ideas, or maybe Hello Games said, you know what, that's a great idea. Maybe we'll have that in our update. Who knows? We don't know. I do want to talk about Hidden Jew. We're going to kick the show off. We're going to kick the show off with Stubborn Ninja, who's going to be talking about VR and kind of give us an insight on what VR headsets are good to buy based on what you have. So whatever kind of computer you have, or if it's better or cheaper, or what not to buy it for the PlayStation 4. We're going to have him come on and talk about PlayStation VR headsets. And so my weekend was a very good weekend. I got a lot of pictures here. I ended up going... Oh, I lost it. Hang on. Just 1 second here. I ended up going out to see a fellow Cobro, Aaron, who has a band called Head Trauma. And they were on tour with the band Crazy Town. You guys remember Crazy Town, right? Don't make me sing it. It's the Butterfly song. Come, 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 my lady. You're my butterfly, sugar baby. You know what I'm talking about. Nobody clipped that. So he was on tour with Crazy Town and happened to come right through my town at Alrosa Villa, where Dimebag Darrell was sadly murdered on stage. And so I went out there to see him and got to watch his band play, and they're absolutely amazing. Really amazing. So their band is called Head Trauma, and they lit the place up, guys. I mean, I'm telling you what, that place was dead, and when they got on stage, everybody just started getting up. But so I got my picture taken with the lead singer for Crazy Town. He's aged a bit, 20 years since the music video Butterfly. But he walked right by me, and I decided to shake his hand, ask him for a picture. But there he is. Got the lead singer for Crazy Town on the left, and we got Aaron, fellow Cobro, on the right, who was out there playing. And it was a great show, and I had a blast. And I do want to thank Aaron for everything that he did, and inviting me out there, and such a great show, buddy. I do appreciate it. Got myself a t-shirt and autographed drumsticks, and just had a really, really, really super good time. The other thing that I would like to talk about tonight is the weird, what do you call it, bickering that I see on Twitter here, and it's about cities. Like, why are so many people arguing about cities? I got people tagging me in things saying, guys, there's not going to be any cities in this game, so calm it down. You know, it's just like, whoa, hey, look, we got ourselves an employee of Hello Games here confirming no cities. You heard it, guys. Now, look, it's fun to want things. It's fun to shout out things that you want. After all, didn't Sean Murray say that if you wrote something about it, he reads responses, he reads things about what we want. So if people are out there wanting cities, I think Sean might want to know about that, right? Besides, we got Sam Swain working there, although he said he was working on this, and he tweeted out the Byond trailer for VR, so he could have been working on VR, or it could have been just well, here's a good trailer for me to tell everybody I've been working on Byond. So, very vague tweet from Sam Swain. So, we don't know what Sam Swain's working on exactly. So, but here's the thing. People wanting cities, that's fine. Let people want cities. It's great, especially if you do it right. Now, we don't want to see cities on every planet, right? And all they have to do is some kind of coding ratio to where 1 in 100 planets that you come across, it's in a code that you'll come across one of these. But Dave Langer brings up a good point in the chat there. I think the hubs will be the cities. But, you know, people that are coming out telling people to shut up, there are not going to be any cities, confirming it is worse than wanting it. Like, you're confirming something without any facts. I don't even understand how you could do that, right? Confirm that there are no cities without having any facts versus people just wanting them. I don't know. Speculate away, I say. Confirm nothing until you know 100%. But it would be nice. What purpose would they serve? What purpose does a tree serve? What does it do for you? What makes you feel like you're immersed in an actual environment? Having cities could serve the same purpose as a trade station or as a space station. Do similar things in there. I mean, why do we have trade stations when we've got space stations, right? So, anyways, I say let people want, and maybe one day we'll get. Because that's what Hello Games feeds off of, is what people want. So, if you're going to argue about it, though, don't tag me in it. Because I don't want to get involved in it. Just don't tag me in it. Okay, so, but we're going to have Stubborn Ninja come on and talk about VR, you know, the VR headsets, what's a good headset to get, and things like that. So everybody else, you know, I'm pretty sure that you're going to have your own preferences and stuff like that. So if you want to call in tonight and get on the show and tell us what your preferences for VR is and why, I would sure love to hear that. So we are going to get Stubborn Ninja on, and then we're going to see about getting RayRod to come on the show. Stubborn Ninja, how you doing, buddy?
How's it going, Cobra? I got to mute your stream real quick. There we go.
All right.
Let
me get this music turned down just a little bit more. I think I got it a little bit too loud.
Yeah, man.
All right, so Stubborn Ninja, man, you're here to tell us about some VR headsets, because there's a lot of confusion. I see a lot of questions everywhere, like, what should I get? Should I get one for my PS4? Should I spend my money and get one for my PC? So you're here to tell us all about that. Give us some insight on what people should do.
Dude, the VR, all the VR headsets, it's just confusing right now. There's tons of new headsets releasing. This past 2 weeks have been some of the craziest I've ever seen. Some of my notes are out of date. I had to update them today because I've kind of kept up with all the headsets. It's just crazy. I want to start off with the headsets that will not work with No Man's Sky, so you guys can really be aware of what won't work natively. Now, if you want to go crazy and modify these headsets, which you can, and I don't want to get into it on this show, but you can modify some of these headsets to work with your PC. Nothing will work except for the PlayStation. I'm going to cover... So tonight, Cobra, I just want to start this off by saying that none of these headsets, I won't bring up PSVR.
And why is that?
PSVR will work with No Man's Sky. I'm going to bring up entirely PC VRs because PSVR is the only headset that will work with PS4. There's no other headset that will work with PS4 other than PSVR.
Okay.
So if you're exclusively on PlayStation 4, just get a PSVR. You can buy and use for about $200, I would say. I wouldn't fully recommend it, but you can buy them brand new. I think I saw the cheapest deal was about $300, and that comes with Move controllers if you want them. So that covers PlayStation. If you're on PlayStation and you're not looking into PC, don't worry about it. Don't worry about anything else I'm going to say. But if you're interested in any other headsets to go on, you know what I mean? If you're looking to invest in PC,
right?
These are the headsets you're going to want to avoid, and then I'll get to the headsets that you'll want to get to. I'll start out cheapest and go most expensive.
Okay.
So the headsets that will not work with No Man's Sky VR. First off, any mobile VR headset will not natively work. That means anything that you slot your phone into, like a Daydream, a Google Cardboard, a Gear VR, anything like that will not work with No Man's Sky. That should be pretty obvious, but you know what I mean. Just to paraphrase. The next one that won't work is the Oculus Go. Oculus Go is it's a $200 headset that Oculus provides. It's a standalone. It's basically a pre-mounted phone inside of the headset already. So it's a very high quality experiences, but it doesn't do PC VR. The next one is actually, funny enough, the Nintendo, I figured I'd bring it up here, the Nintendo Labo VR. This should be pretty obvious because it's not on Nintendo.
Right.
But you know what I mean? I don't want people to get confused, so I'll bring it up. Nintendo Labo VR doesn't work with No Man's Sky VR. The next one will be the Lenovo Mirage Solo. This is a very confusing one because this is kind of deals with what Google's doing with their mobile VR and everything like that. This is standalone VR, but at the same time, it's like their phone mixed in with it. It's confusing. Don't get it if you're looking to get into No Man's Sky VR.
Okay, well, let's clear something up in the chat here. I see a question.
Okay.
The question is from Cuz Walt saying,
Okay.
and we do have to state this, I think, is Stubborn Ninja sponsored by any headset company? Are you sponsored by anybody?
Okay. No, I am sponsored by virtual reality. I am a VR shill. I'm already going to cover that here.
Now, okay, first of all, people are going to be like, "Ooh, he's a VR shill. What is this organization?" Now, you're just making fun of yourself, right?
Yes, I'm making fun of the situation. I am non-biased to any VR headset maker.
Okay.
I do have preferences, but as soon as the next best thing comes out, I don't care about that last thing. So that's as far as I'm going to say is that.
Okay.
So that stay away from those headsets that I've just named. The next headset to stay away from, and this should be the last one. No, there's two more. Okay, so this one and then the next one you need to stay away from, the Oculus Quest. This headset was not out yet, but it will come out. It's $400. It looks almost exactly like an Oculus Rift. It does standalone, and it looks like a great headset, but it doesn't work with No Man's Sky, sadly. I wish it did because this looks like the perfect headset at the moment, but it doesn't, sadly. The last headset to avoid is the HTC Vive Focus Plus. This is not going to release for a while. This is an $800 headset, and this does not, as far as I understand, work with PC VR. Those are all the headsets to avoid. So everything there, you can stay away from if you're looking to get into No Man's Sky VR.
Okay, now I've got to take your word for all of this because I do not know anything of what you're talking about. Like, I can't confirm anything. So,
okay, these are the headsets that you will want to look at. That doesn't matter as much. You just need to remember these headsets. These are the ones that you'll want to...
Well, it's good to know what not to buy.
Yeah. So, and anything else that I don't name here, they won't work with PC VR. So don't worry about anything. If you see anything else that is not on the list that does work with No Man's Sky VR, then you don't have to worry about it. So this is coming in at the cheapest. This is called the Windows Mixed Reality headset. It's a really confusing thing, but they go in for about $250. This is the cheapest way into PC VR as far as I am aware. That is brand new. If you want a brand new headset, then you can go for $250 and get what is there's several off-brand ones. I could if you want to know which one to get, just direct message me on Twitter, Stubborn Ninja, or my name on there is like TJ Boyd. So if you wanna ask me which headset from Windows Mixed Reality, they're all about $250.
Okay.
The next headset, and this isn't actually being produced anymore. This is kind of outdated and kind of not. The Oculus Rift. They just announced the Rift S. So right now they're selling the last of their stock of the original Rift. The original Rift is great. I could get into what's different, but there's not really a huge difference. So you'll be happy with either going with the Rift or the Rift S. The Rift S will be easier to set up, so I'll just include the Rift S here. But they're both about the same, other than the setup. It's really just about the same. And
okay.
That'll be the Rift will probably go right now. It's brand new for $350 if you can grab one. Selling, they're probably going to go used for about $250 as well. The Rift S is $400, so that's a little bit more. So the next one is the Samsung Odyssey Plus. Now this is where it's gonna really start getting confusing. But the Odyssey Plus is also a Windows Mixed Reality headset. This is a very high-end Windows Mixed Reality headset, but this is what I would consider mid-range. It has one of the highest resolutions, so if you have I would recommend this, not this one, but I would say I'd do one more step up for you, Cobra, but if you have a high-end PC and you're looking in the $500 price range, this is the headset I'd recommend for you. And then the last one in this $300 to $500 price range is the HTC Vive. Mm-hmm. I would not go for this right now, and I'll get into later to why. This is $500. It does room scale very well. If you want to do room scale, then go with this one. But I'll explain why you shouldn't as well in the future. And it has to deal with new headsets being released here in May-ish. So I'm going to move on to the high-end or enthusiast level. So if you're not looking to spend too much money, then you can skip over this part. This is going to be the enthusiast level headsets. This is the HTC Vive Pro. The Pro is a very expensive headset. It comes in at about $1,100 for everything that you need. The tracker hands, you know what I mean, all that.
Right.
It's a super high-end. It has the same resolution as the Samsung Odyssey Plus, the one I mentioned at $500. It just does room scale, whereas the Odyssey Plus has a lot harder time doing room scale. That's going to set you back about $1,100.
Jeez, I didn't know there was so many different headsets.
I know, that's the thing. I would say I'll tell you which headset I'll recommend which headset you get, and for everyone to get. The next one is going to be out of basically just about anyone's price range, but this gives you the most immersion. It is called the Pimax. Pimax makes a 200. So most headsets. Let me explain why Pimax is special. Most headsets are a 110-degree field of view. So if you know the human eye is a 210-degree field of view, it has it has a 210-degree field of view. The Pimax is the only headset currently in this price range to do 200-degree field of view. The headset itself, you can only buy the headset itself for $700 or $900. There's two different variants. There's the 5K Plus or there's the 8K. But I would say just go for the $200 cheaper. This isn't even worth mentioning, to be honest with you, because no one's going to buy this. I don't see anyone at all buying this.
Okay.
But if you're really feeling brave and you want to go all out with VR, you know what I mean? You're going beyond just No Man's Sky. You're going crazy with VR. Then yeah, I would recommend this.
Okay.
There's two more headsets. These haven't released yet. These are the only two that haven't released yet. It's the HTC Vive Cosmos. This is kind of like the HTC Vive S. It does a few things differently. It does inside-out tracking. It has completely different controllers to the. So if you don't like the Vive ones, then I would say, and you want to get an HTC headset, get this. This is like the Oculus controllers, if you're familiar. The touch controllers, if you're familiar with them. And the last one that just got announced yesterday, and they said it'll be released in May, is the Valve Index. Now, if Valve is finally releasing their headset. It's been rumored for a long time that they were going to release a headset. If you're familiar with what Valve is doing in VR, they're going to be releasing a Half-Life VR, a Portal VR, and I think a Team Fortress VR. And we're thinking they're all going to be bundled with that in May. But the very special thing about that, the Valve VR or the Valve Index, is the controllers. These are very next generation kind of controllers. They let you just let go of your. They're called the Knuckles. You'll have to show up a picture for everyone to understand why these controllers are so special. They give you a much bigger immersion level than any other controller does. They let you completely let go of the controller and just let it float. It straps around your hand, and that's why I'd say wait for the Valve. This is probably going to be a $500 or $600 headset. So if you're looking to go with that, you know what I mean. If you're looking to do room scale and want the most immersion, this is probably the headset for you, for the price range. Oh, okay. There is one last headset, and this is the headset I'd recommend to you. It's called the HP Reverb. It is currently the highest resolution headset at 2160 by 2160 per eye, at 90 hertz in each eye. So Cobra, I would recommend this headset to you. It's $600, and I think this is the perfect headset for what you want to do, since you aren't very interested in the. You're not very interested in controllers, right? Because the controllers aren't the best on this.
Right.
This is currently the highest resolution in that price range.
But I think I should spend the money to get something with good controllers, because it does look like games are heading in that direction. So it'd be pointless for me to shell out a bunch of money and leave that leave that off the table.
Yeah,
when it's going to become very important soon.
Yeah, so for anyone that's looking to get a PC VR headset, personally, I would recommend either the Rift S or the Valve headset, the Valve Index, because those are the two. I wouldn't recommend waiting for the Vive Cosmos. It doesn't look like it does anything that the Rift S doesn't. It's probably going to be a little bit more expensive. It might have better resolution, but it's not going to do anything else very better. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would recommend anyone that really wants it. So the cheapest option I would recommend is the Rift S. If you're looking to really go really cheapskate, go to Windows Mixed Reality. The next headset I would recommend is the wait for the Valve Index. That's going to be in the $500 to $600 range, and just stay. And maybe that if you're really feeling like you don't want the Move controllers, you know what I mean? You don't want the motion controllers. Just go with the HP Reverb, because that is currently the highest resolution headset for $600. You get the highest resolution headset, and you'll be happy because it's very comfortable.
Right.
So that's my recommendations. It's a very confusing, and I'm sorry if I came across as confusing, guys, but
if it's confusing, it's not your fault. I didn't know there were so many different choices out there. But for the people who have a PS4,
it's so easy. Just one headset.
Right, and you could get the entire bundle for like $300 and something, and it's out of the box, ready to go. You know, it's simple. Also,
guys, please pick up your VR headsets now. I don't want you guys opening up VR, No Man's Sky VR on day one of Byond.
Hold on.
And not having your VR legs.
Well, I do want to state this real fast. I did want to kind of warn people about going out and getting VR too soon. I think we should wait just a little bit, because Hello Games said that they were going to re-release it for PS4. Now, I don't know if they're going to be re-releasing some kind of No Man's Sky VR PSVR bundle, right? So I think if you're going to get VR for PS4, at least wait.
I would disagree with that personally, because I don't think firstly, it's not going to be much cheaper, if any cheaper.
But why
And
re-release it?
Because they want to sell. They want people to see that, right? They want people to see that No Man's Sky is officially in VR. So I would say pick up a PSVR now. If you don't already have No Man's Sky, then I guess wait. You know what I mean? If you do have No Man's Sky, go ahead and pick up PSVR or your PC VR and start playing VR games, because you need your VR legs before you go into No Man's Sky.
That is true.
People brought up a great point. You can't hop into No Man's Sky VR on day one and go start, what is that technique? The sprint melee jetpack. You're gonna get sick if you don't already have your VR legs. You're gonna want a headset now. If you're thinking about if you're thinking about getting No Man's Sky VR, get a headset now and start playing games. A game that I would recommend that's free, it's a very multiplayer oriented game, is Rec Room. It's a cartoony. Best way I can describe it to you guys is it's a cartoony version of VR chat. But the possibilities are crazy. The gameplay can get as faster than No Man's Sky at times. You know what I mean? It's a free game. Actually, I described it to Snow when he started playing it and agreed with me. It's kind of like the Dreams before Dreams releases. You know what I mean? You can create all these things and everything. But
that sounds really cool.
Yeah, I forgot to recommend it to you, man. You got to hop in there. Anyway, yeah, just go ahead and get your VR now and start playing with some games. You're not going to regret it, dude.
I wonder how many people are going to, when No Man's Sky Beyond releases, put their VR headsets on and do a nonstop 30-minute barrel roll in space to get sick so they could call off of work.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. You know what I mean?
There's going to be a bunch of explorers going, units received.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just go ahead and grab VR now. You will not regret it, dude.
He's right, but at the other hand, I think that they got something up their sleeve with re-releasing it for PSVR. And a lot of people might want to spend some money on that. But you do have a point. You do need your VR legs. You do need to get used to it, because it does take some getting used to. And I do want to stress to everybody out there who's not yet wanting VR, it's not like you're putting a TV screen on your face and you can look around. It's different than that. Imagine you're looking at a painting on the wall. Now imagine you can look into that painting. Like you could reach into the painting beyond the bush that's in the front and go all the way back into the hill and pluck a flower from the ground. That's what VR is like. So you could see straight into the game in a 3D style. But yeah, I mean, it. Okay, so I really hope that helped some people that were on the fence about what they wanted to get. What?
Let me address one last thing. Dave Langer is saying, don't buy VR yet. Wait, watch, buy. Wait, watch, buy. Look, if you don't enjoy VR, you get a 30. Most places do a 30-day return policy. Buy it, try it for a week. If you don't like it, if you keep getting sick and can't get past your VR legs, can't grow your VR legs, return it.
Don't return it. Like, no, you have no idea how cool VR is. Like, even without No Man's Sky VR, I'm so happy that I have it.
I mean, I have Dave Langer. I almost have to, dude. I hate to throw shade, but I almost have to question. Have you even tried VR yet? I gotta get you over. I gotta fly you over wherever you are in place and try the headset.
Dave, you gotta try it. Oh my gosh! I mean, not even considering No Man's Sky. I'm glad it's in my house. We have got quite a few Cobras in here. We got Grammy, Martin. Martin's in here. Martin got me on an April Fool's joke. I think I was the biggest one that got teased.
Dude, in an hour and a half, everyone can start throwing jokes on this call now. We're getting close. In an hour and a half, anyone can throw out just about anything. We got an hour and a half till April Fool's.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not for me.
I think Martin's in the future, so I think it's April over there for him.
Yeah, so he can already start doing the jokes.
He put up a banner on Explore No Man's Sky's Facebook group, and It said Nintendo's No Man's Sky on Nintendo Switch, and it was an advertisement, and it looked pretty legit, right? I immediately messaged him like, "Why did you change the banner to a false advertisement?" And I hurried up and I changed it real fast just to the Byond logo that came out. And he messaged me back. He goes, "Cobra, you ruined it. It was an April Fool's joke, you idiot."
He did not ruin it. It's funny though. I've got some Photoshop skills.
Grammy, what's going on, Grammy?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I just stopped by. I'm not interested in VR really, so I just stopped by because every time I try to get in, you have lots of people, and I don't, like to bother you too much when there's lots of people.
Oh, you're not bothering me. You could bother me when there's 100 people. I'll make everybody shut up for you.
And I haven't been feeling well. I've been really sick with the fibromyalgia, and then I had internet problems, so it's been kind of a weird month.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm excited about Byond, but I'm not, because Dreams comes out April 16th, and that'll be a lot of my focus for the next couple of months is learning how to make little animation people in Dreams. But I'm not. My son wants VR, and
there's a good reason for that.
He wants it for Borderlands. By a lot of people for him though to get VR for the PC. So I was just curious, which would you prefer, PC or PlayStation?
Personally, me, since I have the money, I can start spending money here in the couple months. It's PC for me. I have a nice rig I can throw. You know what I mean? PC just has that upgradability for me.
Is it drastically different though, Stubborn?
Okay, look, if you're not a graphics whore like me, I can be a graphics whore and I can notice every little detail. I don't know why, but I can. If you don't pay attention to the little details, no, you will be just fine on PlayStation.
Awesome. Guys, our guest speaker has arrived.
There he
RayRod, the mod god. RayRod, what's going on, buddy?
Hello, RayRod. So, Cobra, I was just stopping by to say hi, and I'm going to be leaving because I'm still not feeling really well.
Okay,
I'll try
Grammy.
to get on the next one, and you guys all have really a lot of fun. I just like to check in with you every couple of weeks or months or so you know I'm still your biggest supporter. Everybody go Cobra all the way.
Yeah,
and
man.
I keep listening to you every time, even if I don't show up or say hi.
I appreciate that, Grammy. Thank you so much.
No
Cobras,
problem. Lots of
guys.
love. Peace out.
Hey, Cobra, can you hear me?
RayRod. So Cobra,
There he is, everybody.
Yeah, RayRod.
RayRod.
I got you, buddy. RayRod?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, what's up, bro? Thanks
Not
for
too
having
much.
me here.
Yeah, buddy, it's good to have you back on the show. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro.
Here, let me get you turned up a little bit. All right, you should be golden.
All right, testing. We good?
Perfect. Yep, perfect. All right, so RayRod, I brought you on the show for quite a few things today. And also, Stubborn Ninja, I do want to thank you so much for everything you provided for the VR.
Yeah, man, I got a couple questions for RayRod once we're ready.
Okay, all right.
Once he's ready for questions.
So, RayRod, we brought you on the call to talk about the Byond update because if anybody's going to know, not what's in it, but one of the things, like I got into kind of an argument on Twitter because they were saying that I was wrong, that No Man's Sky does not need to be optimized for VR. And I kind of went back and forth, and then I noticed I was arguing, so I stopped. I'm like, all right, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do this anymore. He said that every game could be PSVR, that there's no optimization needed. And so I kind of brought you on to talk a little about that. Like, I kind of feel like they had to optimize because Sony says if it does not run at 60 frames per second, they will not certify a VR game for their console. So there obviously has to be optimization to the game. And if there is, what kind? And, and just to also talk about your mod and send me a link. I want to tell everybody about how they can go to support you. Send me a link to your Patreon.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm still building the Patreon. I'll have that ready by next time, bro. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just make sure you get me your Patreon link, and I'll let everybody know how to find it.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So regarding the optimization, I mean, like, there's a lot already. Like regarding No Man's Sky, like, a lot of people reported like that different iterations of my fan project perform better than the base vanilla game. And right now, like the multiverse project that I'm working on, it does perform better than the base vanilla game for me. Like, like I've worked a lot of things like in regard to the shaders, like in GLSL and the engine, and I've also did various biome optimizations and different graphical optimizations and different texture things without quality degradation. It's like, if you think about it, like if you look back just to the pre-release E3 2015 2013 trailers in which those assets are still present, like if you think about the trailer with Araya V, the rainforest planet, that was a PS4 gameplay trailer, and the game performed smoothly, even at that point in time. The game can still perform that smoothly, but if you look at like the lush biomes on like that were introduced on Next, like in my opinion, they're kind of like sloppily placed there, and due to the way that the biomes were implemented in Next, it caused unnecessary performance drops. But if you were to pretty much recreate that environment in a different fashion, in a way like, by investing more effort into it, you can really get major performance increasements, just by, reworking that. But, there's other areas like sparsed out all over the files where you can, just really rework things and change things, and you can get better performance out of that based off of what is already here. But in regard to VR, I would imagine that they did do some game engine like overhauling in order to get better performance, because there are a lot of performance issues with No Man's Sky, like even to this day, for people who have high-end rigs.
Right, and so Sony, they've stated over and over that they won't certify a game that can't run in 60 frames per second for VR, right? Yeah. I could pull up 100 articles of them stating that. So my point was, and the reason why I got into this argument is that people who don't own VR will actually enjoy a more optimized game because of them having to optimize it for VR. Is that true, or am I wrong?
Can you repeat that? Apologize.
No, it's okay. So people without VR will be able to play in a higher frames per second because they had to make it 60 frames per second steady for VR. So will people without VR notice an optimization?
Well, I would imagine that in order to, effectively implement VR, they'd have to make major improvements to the game engine. And if they did that, then overall, like, No Man's Sky should perform better. So I would think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. So people have been asking a lot of questions all over Facebook and Twitter. Where's RayRod? What's going on? So tell us what you've been working on and how close you are to releasing something.
Okay. So I've been dealing with a lot of hardships, in the past 4 months, in between the death of a best friend who's a victim of a hit and run incident, getting prepared to move, a 4-year relationship coming to an end. But during this time, like, I have been working on the multiverse project on and off, because I'm writing a program. And once I finish writing this program, 99% of all manual work is going to be, out of the way for me, because whenever I run my program, it recreates the in-game universe of No Man's Sky in a unique fashion every single time upon run, and it recreates my entire fan project. And and it's pretty much directly usable with the game. So my program also automates my fan content and parses it on top of the latest official content by Hello Games.
Are you serious? So it adapts and changes to their update?
Yeah, so basically,
Wow.
when Byond releases, like, I'm not going to have to redo my entire project all over again, because, after so many, updates coming out and just doing everything from scratch, and I know that a lot of people are just so patient, and I really appreciate that. It's like, why would I need to do this manually if I can just tell my computer to do it for me? I'll just write a program for it. It'll just save time, and it's more efficient without human error. So yeah, I am working on a program right now. It's going to be multiple universes in game. That's basically what I'm working on. I'm calling it the multiverse. It's going to be essentially infinite variety. You know, if you were to think of in the style of the pre-release No Man's Sky Portal trailer, when you would, you know, like when the dev like walked through a portal and everything was completely different. Like I've been diving into 3D modeling and sculpting and creating environments. Like I'm going to be porting environments from science fiction into the game, like pretty much anything. I really want to transform this game from, you know, on the inside out, but every detail, small and large, matters. So I'm just really taking a lot of time to get this right and to make sure that it's as optimal as possible, but that it's also exactly what I've been, you know, describing it to be.
Right.
Cobra, I have a question for him right now while I'm thinking about it. I'm sorry, Cobra.
Go ahead.
Ask this. RayRod, can you make a layman terms video on how exactly the engine for No Man's Sky works? Like, I know it would take a long time and I don't want this to take away from the development of Multiverse, but do you think you could make a layman's terms video on how exactly all of the No Man's Sky engine works for all of us to understand a little better?
I can make a video on that.
Yeah,
I do want to.
That would just be a great video concept, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you 100%. I want to give a shout out to the people in the Atlas room: Archelon, Rude TV, Severine, if I pronounce that right, and Zyger Boy. I'm going to get you guys on here 100%. Just going to let RayRod talk a little bit here real quick. Yeah, RayRod, that would be a really cool video if you could do that.
Yeah, sounds good, bro.
So a lot of people are probably itching because you got to be like that person to go to and ask. Like you've had your hands inside that code, you know, switching things around, you know, looking at things. So maybe you or I don't know who uncovered the food files, the fence files, the turret files, the data where they data mined the like power. I don't know, the power things, that power generators and stuff like that. What have you noticed that could give us maybe a clue to what's coming?
Well, back on Next, you know, they started developing the VR files, so I was already, you know, I was aware that, you know, VR was eventually coming, that they were planning this. But yeah, like those files that talk about like the food and this and this and that, like that's in the language files, you know, that people found that in. Other than that, yeah, I haven't seen anything else.
Okay, so you're saying that they're in the language files, meaning that's just something that could come up in a conversation?
Yeah, basically, like the language files consists of data that's just like, for example, like if you look at the, you know, the procedurally generated names for planets, like that's located in the language files, you know, like, so there's data in there, like even stuff that's like from pre-release, it's just kind of like they're isolated, like not being used. But whenever Hello Games pushes out like a new update or a community update, they add stuff to the language files, which often contains features that they're planning to, you know, flesh out and put in the game.
Right. I got a real quick question for Stubborn Ninja in the chat. And I heard somebody on Twitter also saying that I also wanted to let you guys know you could use VorpX and Tyrannus PSVR to play No Man's Sky in VR right now. Now, Stubborn Ninja, you were on the show a couple weeks ago talking about how you had No Man's Sky working in VR. Now, do you get the same experience as a game designed for VR as you would by doing a runaround?
No.
That's what I thought.
Not at all.
That's what I thought.
This is only simulating 3D. It does not do full 3D. That's what VorpX, it tries to simulate 3D. It doesn't fully get it right all the time. That's why the scale was messed up, and I believe that scale will be really good in Byond, and you don't get hand controls. And all of this costs money, and it's just... Trinus VR, I had a lot of trouble with that. So I would not recommend using a PSVR on PC. I would recommend just going with a PC VR headset.
Okay. All right.
So
if anybody has questions for RayRod, ask away. I mean, once you get this guy talking, man, he is just... I don't know what it is, RayRod. Are you even human?
Yeah.
Oh, look, you see, he hesitated.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult for me because like asking RayRod something is like asking God something, you know. So to me, RayRod is like a mod god.
He's joining.
So
He's joining the ranks of. He's joining the ranks of Mark Zuckerberg up there. Being, he doesn't look like he's human. He doesn't seem like he's human.
I can see RayRod
all
doing a
this.
TED Talk.
Honestly, dude, you need to do it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just I wanted to like mention something about the project I'm working on, like what it is.
Sure. Oh, yeah, please do.
Okay, so RayRod's multiverse is the successor to RayRod's overhaul. It's a continuous work in progress. You know, this time rather than doing everything manually, I'm basically writing a program to do everything for me. But what I wrote, this is something that I wrote, it's the multiverse that's self-creating. I develop self-creating environments that are consistent in quality. In fact, everything is self-creating, not only environments, not only do the individual environments get automated uniquely with consistency, they now rebuild themselves dynamically. RayRod's multiverse will create itself as you explore from planet to planet and follow the style of concept arts, fan art, sci-fi book covers, real-life locations, NASA imagery, a series of mysterious but revitalized, modernized pre-release builds that are all unique, painterly, and stylish in their own distinctive ways. In between various beta No Man's Sky builds, off-the-record pre-release footages, off-the-record screenshots, from the original reveal in 2013, E3 2014, 2015, early IGN 2016, PS4 RC1 builds that we've never experienced. The PS4 RC1 build, including builds that we've never experienced firsthand, all known release builds in between mid-2016, Foundation, Pathfinder, Atlas Rises, Next, Abyss, Visions, and including Byond. There will be real-world planetary environments recreated in-game based off of photography and extremely rare but unique concept art-based worlds, places you wouldn't have ever expected to see. Like, I also created Namek inside of No Man's Sky. I haven't shown that yet. There's also various other environments by a few friends incorporated with permission, such as Shidex Generation, Better Worlds by Templar Graphics, and 20,000 fully procedural but unique handcrafted biomes that I've made. And also Cyrus and I started getting into the realm of porting sculpted 3D models into the game. Like, one of the things that we were looking at was a pre-release style honeycomb tree. So he actually did his own take on a honeycomb tree that was shown in pre-release footage that didn't make its way into the game, and now we have that fully working. And he actually recreated a concept art ship, from one of Hello Games' old paintings, and he pretty much sent it to me, and I'm going to be putting that into the game. And I'm also working on importing custom multi-tools and different things, and just really expanding in the game. So there's going to be essentially infinite variety in between everything that already exists in the game, but I'm also putting new content into the game that I'm making myself. I said that no planet will be the same in any attribute. Unique environments with distinctively unique rules, unique sub-biomes that blend into environments to create a multi-biome kind of emulation. It's going to be unique terrain, unique and dynamic weather. I started making a volumetric 3D modeled weather, so now I have 3D weather effects rather than the usual two-dimensional weather effects that are used in the game. There's going to be unique visuals, unique ecology, unique AI activity, unique buildings. I also created my own kind of super formula. Pre-release, there was something that basically something that was part of the original vision of the game was that Hello Games had their own kind of super formula, right? Not even a single blade of grass was supposed to be identical to one another. Not a snowflake was supposed to be identical to one another. Everything in the game is supposed to be a consistently unique universe. There's data for that still in the code that's dormant, but it's no longer being used. So what I did was, in C#, I actually created my own kind of super formula that dynamically, uniquely morphs assets on the fly. Like, if you were to picture somebody using a 3D modeling tool like Blender, right? Like, you can morph an asset or change it around and stuff like that. Well, that's what my program is actually doing with assets in the game. It's creating unique iterations of models that already exist. And I also got the same thing working for buildings. I haven't shown that off yet, but I'm planning to make it a feature for the project. There's going to be unique and dynamic weather. There's going to be unique buildings. And
okay, can I interrupt you here for a second, RayRod? I'm so sorry. You mentioned that super code, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that has anything to do with Sean Murray tweeting out the word fractal and showing a freeze frame of something saying games that redefine games?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen the tweet.
Also, the plot thickens. That games that redefine games, that was the Apple Arcade event thing. So we're still trying to figure out this entire thing with that Apple Arcade troll thing.
Are you serious?
Yes, that was from Apple, the Apple thing.
So Sean, okay, whoa, wait, back up the bus. Sean tweeted that out, and then you had sent me that picture that people are saying is fake.
It's fake from it. We think it's fake. We're pretty sure it's fake. It comes from Apple. Came straight from Apple because I got that email too. So that's something from Apple. We're thinking someone that sent out that email trolled, and that wasn't.
So somebody risked their job. Somebody who's a troll.
We're thinking that
risked their job to put No Man's Sky on an official Apple advertisement.
That or somehow it's coming to mobile. Yes,
I don't think it would be a troll.
Likely
if that look,
I'm pretty sure it's more a troll. Because it doesn't make sense. It's the description. We've already covered that the description doesn't match No Man's Sky. It's like a different game. It's called Sky. So we're not sure. It's just so confusing.
That combined with Sean Murray's tweet, I don't know what to think at this point.
Look, let me just say that don't expect it. Let's all say that don't.
Carpets and curtains. Okay, I'm sorry, RayRod. Go ahead. Carpets and curtains, guys.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, don't be sorry.
You guys are interesting in what you're saying.
that does lead up into a good question for RayRod. Do you think that No Man's Sky on a mobile device is possible? And I got two other questions after that. After you think about that,
what if they're running it from a cloud now?
No, they can't. They said that Apple Arcade does not run it all through cloud,
okay.
So this
right.
has to run through mobile.
I mean, if they overhauled the engine and they did some stuff with it, which we can't really say for sure right now. I mean, I suppose if they really wanted to make it work on mobile, that they could do that. If they have VR, I would really think that they did something with the engine, because I know people who have trouble on the PS4 Pro right now, and I have a GTX 1080 stream, and sometimes I get drops on the PC. Going into the atmosphere and different things, it drops like below 60 frames per second. Like the base game, and with VR, the standard is higher.
Yeah, I've heard of people even dropping frames on a 2080 Ti, so I don't doubt that. I had a theory, but it doesn't matter. The other two questions are, what do you think about cities in terms of technicality, like planet-wide cities and everything like that? And why don't you make your own game? You're so talented. Why don't you make your own game? Those are my other two questions.
Right. So in regard to cities, cities can be done in No Man's Sky. It's been done before. The consistency of them, I'm not really sure. It might get a bit repetitive after a while.
Right, but all you'd have to do is just come up with a ratio.
Yeah,
to control it.
If that's something the Hello Games decides to do, I'm sure that they'll effectively implement it. And regarding making my own game, I just love No Man's Sky. I want to work with No Man's Sky. Cyrus and I talked about something. That we might do something like that, and there's a few other people that want to work on something with me, but it's my hands are full at the moment, and it's I need to just get this out of the way. So I'm working on No Man's Sky, and I'm going to accomplish the goals and the vision of what I've planned and what I've been working on for the past 3 years.
Okay, I'm really super sorry to cut you off, RayRod. Go ahead and, if you could, pick up from where you were.
Oh, it's all good. So anyway, I was saying that, I don't like being identified as a modder. I don't like identifying this as a mod, even though I am, and it essentially is. I see it as a custom multi-build hybrid similar to former versions, but in this case, every aspect of it is being developed more carefully from scratch, from the ground up, with higher standards that I'm not willing to bend. And the ultimate goal is to create something that is a blend of every unknown and known build in such a way where it hopefully won't really feel like a mod, but more so as if it could be an actual addition to the current game because of the refining, that's being poured into it. It will be an entire game overhaul, a multi-build hybrid of every data mined, unreleased, and released version of No Man's Sky, including a series of numerous mysterious pre-release builds and the PS4 RC1 build ported to PC, because I have the PS4 build of No Man's Sky unpacked. Like, I was the first person to unpack that build and to get the files apart. And it's going to be an infinite amount of stylish, rule-based, algorithmic biomes modernized for Next without losing any Next content. I wrote this in the past, back when Next was out, but I'm still working on it. So now we're heading towards Byond. So it's going to contain, all of the updates, including Byond, when I have it ready. And it's a massive game expansion. It's just something that I've been working on, and this article is outdated. There's a lot going on. I'm still working on dynamic ecology and, porting custom ecology into the game. And, I'm still working on different kinds of procedural environments that I'm 3D modeling, procedural assets, and just fully fleshing out what already is in the game. And, I want to create a blend of the different art styles from different iterations of builds from the game, going all the way back from beta No Man's Sky to 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, where things were different, all the way from the initial release in 2016, then to where things changed a bit on Pathfinder, and then on Atlas Rises. And from there on out, I want to create a blend of all the visual art styles, while I'm also looking at conceptual science fiction art and recreating that in the game. Like, I've been looking at NASA imagery or real life locations and creating those visuals and those atmospherics and those skies and different things and putting it in the game exactly as I see it, and also recreating environments from fan art or sci-fi art or real life locations in No Man's Sky. And it's totally possible. It just takes time, and just gotta, with procedural generation, like, things can sometimes be a bit tedious to make sure that it's consistent, and it requires testing. But once it's working and once you got it right, you got it right. And with a program, it's not going to have the same human errors if I was doing it by hand and just missing a spot here and there. So it's going to, output it correctly, and it's just, once it's done, it's done. And, if I release the program, then, rather than just using the fan project as it is, like, people would be able to just click a button and recreate the entire fan project, and it'll be unique every time they hit the button.
That's awesome, dude. Everybody that we are listening to, we're talking to RayRod, who has been making all the amazing mods that we've all come to love. If you would like to call into the show today and ask him a question, go into the Atlas room. There's 3 people in there right now that I want to get on the show: Rue TV, Severine, and Zyger Boy. But right now we've got 2 guests who have been sitting here quietly. We got Hidden Trauma and Ivy Mike. Let me talk to Hidden Trauma first. Aaron, what's up, buddy?
What's up, dude? Exhausted is what I am.
I bet. Guys, this is Aaron, who was in the band Head Trauma, who I went to go see Saturday night play at Alrosa Villa, the place right here in town from me, like 28 minutes away from me, and I had a blast, dude. I just wanted to thank you so much for inviting me out there.
Yeah, man. It was not a problem at all. I want to thank you for coming out and checking it out. It was an honor. That club is amazing. It sounds really good. It was honestly the best show of the tour. That was amazing.
Oh, I bet, dude. That place was dead until you guys got up there and started playing. Like, there was nobody out there, and then as soon as you guys started playing, like a minute into your first song, people just started to gather around and just get excited.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you have any questions you would like to ask RayRod?
Are you going to be able to mod in VR?
I mean, it's too early to say, but
Right.
I would imagine like seeing those environments in VR would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if I thought the VR mode was the same thing. They said that. Well, I have no idea what it means from a technical side, truly, but they said that you can. It's cross compatible with regular play. They said anything that's possible in flat screen is possible in VR. So I don't know if that would mean that mods are straight up compatible. You know what I mean? You just boot it up in VR mode and all mods are compatible. So would you think
That's
all mods
true.
are compatible? RayRod? If that's the case?
I mean, if there are any issues, then I'll just fix it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Thank you so much, JJ, in the chat. I want to say to people in the chat, I'm super sorry that I'm not reading. What happens to me is when I read the chat, I accidentally stop listening to the people talking, and I've lost track of what they said. And I don't want to do that, and I'm super sorry, guys. But I will take the time to come back and read some of the chat. We also have Ivy Mike on the call. Ivy, how you doing, bud?
What's going on, guys? How you
Nothing
doing,
much,
RayRod?
man. Just
What's up, Ivy?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Yeah.
So, Ivy, you said you had a question for RayRod.
Yeah, my question is, I have a pretty sick gaming rate. I have a 2080 Ti, and I definitely see the frame drops to your point when in atmosphere. And, my fear is that when they do VR is that they're gonna, not allow you to push, graphical settings as high when you turn on VR mode. Maybe they'll limit the, the textures to low or medium, opposed to being able to put them on ultra. Do you think they'll be able to keep the same graphic fidelity that they have when you have everything turned, all the juice turned on PC, and still be able to operate in VR at that higher frame rate?
Honestly, I have no idea what they're planning with the VR. So, but I just know like the standard is high. So if the standard is higher, like going back to what Cobra said, I mean, I heard a rumor, I don't know if it's true. Does anybody know this? Like somebody mentioned that they leaked crossplay between PS4 and PC.
No, but that was
TeknoAxe.
actually my question.
When was that?
Yeah, when did they leak that?
Somebody told me that yesterday that Sean accidentally leaked crossplay on Twitter or somewhere. I'm not 100% sure if that's true.
The language he used when he was talking about No Man's Sky Online, definitely kind of hinted towards, being able to play together in ways that they've never been able to before. Things like that kind of sounds like crossplay, but it's a stretch.
I'd be very surprised if there wasn't crossplay in No Man's Sky Online. I think they're going to go all out with Byond, to be honest with you.
Yeah. 3 updates in one. Yeah, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see, honestly.
Well, I want to say that they are the 3 major updates, right? They're just the 3 titles updates. Remember that we can get the features that they don't even show on the list. They're going to be minor, maybe, but still, just because the 3 don't match the things that you want, if the third one doesn't match the thing that you want, don't lose hope. You know what I mean? You might see what you want added. Just like we kind of see those extra features added, even though there's one main feature in all updates, and then there's all these tiny ones, right? So don't lose hope if it's not what you want for the third one.
Okay, sorry about that. I was reading. I was trying to see if I could find. I was trying to see if I could find where he leaked that. Let's see. Did I just bring somebody on or no? I did not. Let me go ahead. And this Cobra's been waiting here for a while. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Severine. Severine.
I think he was working on his mic in the alley.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta
If I'm
check down the other thing. Hold. Yeah, I'm over here now.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. What's on your mind? You got something you want to ask RayRod, or you just want to talk about Byond?
I just want to talk about Byond. There's a few things that really bug me that I'm hoping they're going to fix about the game, like scanners. I have to jump out of my vehicle every time I want to scan.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, what you mean to discover like a species or flora or fauna?
That or just like I need to find copper. I'm searching around.
I see. Yeah, that would definitely be an improvement. And the only way to let them know is just by saying it, or tweeting it, or asking them, sending them an email, or tweeting at Sean like, "Hey, can you make scanning easier from our exocraft?" But yeah, that's a good point. Which also makes me think about something else that somebody's been talking about. Black Note Studios, his name is also Aaron, was messaging me and saying that he hopes that the VR is not going to be teleporting for movement, because he said in the trailer he couldn't see any walking on land at all. And I kind of pointed out that it looks like they show movement in exocrafts and the spaceship. They show movement when he's swimming. So I seen a couple other people mention this as well. I don't think that there's going to be any teleporting in Byond. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think
I really hope not. It would ruin the whole experience.
It would destroy it. Absolutely destroy it. But I don't think that's anything to be worried about. I just don't think. I think it was just coincidence that no footage was of him walking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hi, Cobra.
Snow, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Doing good. I'm surprised you haven't noticed me yet.
No, I knew you were here. I was just waiting for you to talk up. Yeah, everybody's allowed to speak in here. If you want to go ahead and talk, definitely interrupt me. You guys can interrupt me anytime. So,
got some interesting news for you.
What is that?
I did promise somebody that this weekend I would fight them to Galactic Thunderdome.
Really? Who?
Who is that?
A guy named Arsenal LC on PlayStation and on the Amino. I'll see if I can find him. Okay. I'll see if I can message him, see if he has Discord.
Also,
no, he does.
Cobra,
I just remember.
We should have a subcast specifically for convergence planning here sometime in April. Before we forget about that, get up with us. Let us know what you think, and we got a few things. It's just we're not organized quite yet. We need to get everyone. You know what I mean?
Will do. Yeah.
We need to start getting organized because it's going to hit us fast.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. We'll definitely do that. Severine, what else, buddy?
Well, just a whole lot of things that people already said, like deeper oceans, cloaked animals. But one thing I thought would be cool is, the little guys that run around that shoot you, the eyeball cyber eyeballs.
Yeah,
they're getting kind of annoying. I'd rather have like the pirates, like physical bipedal pirates, run around and shooting me, or find a planet where they have a fort and they have like turrets and like trying to shoot me.
Oh yeah, I agree with you right there, buddy. Yeah. There definitely needs a bit more of a danger, a different foe to fight, and I think we're going to get that. It's on the list, right? It's on the list that we had. Let me see if I can pull it up, if I can remember which one it is. Right there.
Were cities on the list?
Well, more base building depth could possibly be cities. I mean, if we could build closer together and build more. But again, cities, like RayRod said, are definitely possible. It's definitely feasible. But if it's not done right, it'll be repetitive and it'll look dumb if every planet if every planet has a city on it, or if every star system has a planet with a city on it. And they can solve that just by making it a certain ratio to how many star systems you come across will have a city.
Similar to style how freighter battles work.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah. A good point. Very, very good point. And the building of the cities doesn't have to be such a heavy asset as the bases are. I mean, look how big certain structures are. I mean, RayRod, help me out here. It doesn't have to be as heavy of an asset as the bases, right?
A city?
Yeah.
I have an idea.
I don't think so. Like, if you have for example, like you can have like a really large base and it doesn't have to be a heavy asset. Sorry about that. Oh, by the way, Cyrus just said hi.
Oh, what's up, Cyrus?
Yeah, he's not here. He has to like leave or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm like half awake. I was up for like 72 hours working on something.
Ooh.
I hear you, RayRod.
But anyway, what is it? I mean, like buildings, like if in regard to like the buildings, like I guess one way that it could not be repetitive, apart from what you said regarding the ratio, is like, I mean, like if they added like procedural cities and they had a lot of different things and a lot of different styles, then it's like with procedural cities and a lot of different styles, like there's so many ways that you can creatively like implement structures and buildings, like even with what's already here right now.
Yeah.
Do you have, RayRod, do you have plans to do cities in Multiverse?
Cities, I mean, I haven't planned to do cities. I mean, I guess that's something that I could look into if that's something that people would want. I have dynamically generated buildings because I have like that super formula function that I coded, applied to buildings, applied to flora, and I'm also working on getting it working for creatures. It's inspired, like as mentioned earlier, it's inspired by a pre-release feature that Hello Games had. Like the same super formula that was used for flora, they had something going on for fauna too. So the Araya B planet, the rainforest, like a lot of people talk about how some of the assets that, they weren't procedural, like for example, the Diplo. Well, it didn't need to be, because the creatures, they function based, they were generated based off of bone structure. They had some sort of different algorithm going on, which caused, the creatures to generate in different styles in different ways based off of bone structure, and the creatures would be morphed. Same thing with flora. They didn't have to rely on a hand-picked pool of, predetermined parts that the game would randomly choose from. It generated things in a different way, even though they still had various assets, including rainforest creatures at the time that were not shown, but actually that were around, just not visible in the trailers, or in screenshots. They actually were procedural at the time, and a lot of the flora was procedural. So those were like full planets. Some of the buildings that were shown in pre-release footages, they aren't in the game anymore, but I'm planning to remake them and put them into the game. Yeah, so about buildings, like I don't think it's going to be extremely taxing or anything. I'm just more so hoping that, that if they do something like that, that they put a lot of effort into how they implement it.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know why there's so much controversy over cities. I just don't get it.
I feel like if I saw a city, it'd be cool. I'd just fly over it and I'd be like, all right, cool, and then I'd never go to a city again. Just what would be the point?
Well, okay.
Exactly.
It's a space station.
Okay, hold on. What's the point in having trees? To make you feel like you're there. That's why. In a city, you've got Korvax, you got Viking, you've got you get the Gek, the Gek. So I couldn't even say it. So you got all those guys, and eventually you're going to come across somewhere that's going to have some kind of city. But and it's why is there trees to make you feel like you're there? Why are there trade stations on the planet when you've got space stations? It's like, why not have something like a trade station, but it's like a city. You go in, you've got hopefully more depth to the NPCs, and they're walking around and they're actually going about their own little thing, like just pre-chromed them. You walk up, talk to them, trade with them, and then they go about it their way. Maybe you can go up to a trade terminal. Maybe there's a place you can go and buy some ship parts and stuff like that, where you go into the city when you need to. Just like when you go into a space station when you need to. Like, we're worrying about whether we want cities or, like, we don't want cities, people say, but yet we have these space stations. They all look almost exactly the same on the inside, and we're not even saying that those are a waste. And we're not even saying what's the point in having space stations when they look like the same on the inside. I think cities would add a lot to the game, but people are right, and you're right, Ivy. If it's too much, if too many places have it, then yeah, it won't be. If it's not done right, it'll be boring.
But and what does it
do? Capitals, like four capitals, one in each quadrant of the galaxy or something, and they're super.
That's
rare.
Good.
Yeah.
What does it offer that a space station doesn't? That's my question. What does it offer that the game doesn't offer already? That's what they've got to solve.
The biggest
They
problem
gotta
with
have
cities
something
is gonna
exclusive.
be- biggest problem with cities is going to be people are going to go, "Hey, I'm going to attack the city."
You know what I think?
This is such a
they,
weird conversation.
What I think they should implement is the little special thing that happens, like the little rocks that get legs and run away. That doesn't happen that much. You really have to find before something like that happens, and those are the things that are unique and awesome. You got like all these planets with the weird planets, the class planets and stuff, but they all look the same. Every single solar system, if you have a special planet, they all have the same assets, and that's why I'm kind of more stoked if I hear RayRod talk about what the mod's gonna bring, because that makes me more like ooh than what we've got now.
Yeah, I agree. I think too many star systems have too many
things.
ringed planets. It's like I think they need to create a ratio that spreads that out a little bit more.
Well, the thing is, sorry, I mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
They already have ratios for these things. Like, there's literally like about 2% of the engine's potential is actually in use right now. So it's like,
what?
I'm a little bit biased, honestly. Like, we keep getting these new features, and they're awesome and exciting, and it's amazing, but they could really be pushed so much further. Like, for example, one example is... Sorry, that sounds annoying. But anyway, one example is, like, if you think about the terrain... like,
Are you swiping left or right?
Huh?
Oh, what that sound? Is that like one of those things where you swipe left or swipe right?
Nah, that was Facebook.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Notification sounds. You can mute it though.
Yeah, I just did. Thanks. So
please continue, Ray. Please continue.
So like regarding the terrain, despite the fact there's like 4 unused super formulas that are like with the terrain that can be used right now. What is it? Like, if you think of like terrain, like caves, for example, like we could have 20 unique cave generational styles, but instead every single cave, every single preset is just copy and pasted to be exactly identical, and it's the same with all terrain. Like, every single preset is identical to another, so every cave is going to be the same. Every mountain is pretty much going to be the same style, but a lot different. When the entire terrain generation could just be overhauled, and it could be pretty much consistently unique, but this same pattern is prevalent all across the files. Like, the predatory fish, like, it's nice, but instead of just having the same fish all the time, like, we could have different scales, like different styles of those fish, or even different models of those fish that are predatory. Like, there's so many things. Like, we keep getting new features and awesome things, but they could be pushed so much further, and I guess people who don't really see what's going on the inside aren't really aware of this. And then next thing you know, we get more features, and then the last ones are kind of just forgotten about. But there's just so much potential of what's been added, but there's already been so much potential of what's already been here since day one. So the new features and the cool things that we're getting, and the toys and this and this and that, I see them as icings that are like on top of a cake, but a cake that should, like the ingredients, like what's underneath, what's in that cake, like what's like, basically, like, all of these things, I see them as toppings of what should already be a fully fleshed out and refined game that has so much potential to be so much more than what it currently is, even though it already is amazing right now. It's just
do you guys remember the Rydogen hunt before Atlas Rises?
There
when
he is.
You would get the nice. Remember, you would have to go and do a mission to get Rydogen from the base missions, and I remember going to like 20 different water planets and finding Rydogen only in certain in certain areas on certain planets, and it wasn't on all the planets. Now you go to water and Rydogen's in all the water, no matter what. And that's what I feel like they went away from. That, to your point, RayRod, is that diversity and the using the code to just let it run. And yeah, you might have to go to 20 systems to find what you need, but that was the best part about back then.
Very true.
Yeah, if you notice, for example, the resource deposits, like they used to generate in all different kinds of styles, but now they only generate underground because that same preset is duplicated in the entire file. So terrain, like there's different, there is like the terrain is nice. They really did like improve the terrain, in my opinion, like with the game, but it's just that instead of having so much of the same, like it really could be always different. In fact, with the biomes that are already here, they could just actually duplicate the biome and have it set to utilize, just different terrain every single time. And there's lots and lots of presets, and it's actually pretty cool. There's so much in the files that is there that they created, but it's just not being used. And what is used is pretty much barely being used. And if somebody were to take the time to just go through everything that Hello Games has already put in the files and to just really spend the time trying to get the most out of it and to fully flesh out these features and these mechanics and all of these different things, it's like it could really transform the game from the inside out on top of what we already have. But, we keep getting these new features and they're awesome and it's exciting, but...
So
RayRod, I think if I may speak for a lot of people here, what can the community do for you to take over Hello Games? Just wondering.
Is that blasphemous? I think that's blasphemous.
I don't know.
Okay, RayRod, have you been contacted at all by them? I don't know if you can say anything if you have. But can you say anything if you've been contacted by them?
He's hesitating. He has.
That's an NDA. I'll save you.
Yes, he has, and no, he can't.
I'll save you there for a minute, RayRod. I do want to thank Bpot for donating to the super chat. Thank you so much, Bpot. This is one of the hardest shows I've ever done. There's a lot of people waiting to get in here, and I feel like I'm mismanaging tonight's show big time. Alan Poe, thank you so much for the donation to the super chat, saying sorry I am late. Support Cobra, you Cobras. Thank you so much, Alan Poe. I also a very long time ago added Zyger Boy. Zyger Boy is here, and we also have Peaceful Gamer also in the chat, who has been in the city's conversation.
Really?
I think you today maybe. I was like a couple days ago it was me, and now it's you, and
yeah.
So talk about that real quick, and then we'll have Zyger Boy get the floor here and ask RayRod some questions.
I'll try to be brief, buddy. The only thing so we know RayRod says cities can be done. It can happen. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be something that can be incredibly taxing when it's being handled by the procedural engine. It's not something that people should think about, like the complexity of base building, because they're going to be generated by algorithm, right? So it's not going to me anyway, I don't think it's going to have the same sort of taxing effect on the system.
Right. No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry.
In terms of, what's, like you said, what's the purpose of a tree? To be there to, even just as something to fly by, to look at, oh, cool, there's a city. If you don't want to participate, you don't want to go there, you don't have to, just like everything else in the game. I don't like frigates. I don't see the point in frigates. I'm not really into freighter bases. They're all there for other people to enjoy and to have fun with. But I'm not going to be going around saying, they shouldn't be in the game because I find them pointless or whatever, or they're in my way, or I don't like seeing them as I fly through space or whatever. Now, in terms of what value they could have that other things don't already provide, well, they could sort of pull in and centralize a bunch of different elements. So like all the different merchants that we have in space stations, including the mission givers, all those people can be found somewhere in a city center. Same with all the different buildings that we come across randomly, the comm stations, the abandoned buildings and stuff like that. All that stuff can be somehow implemented into one city center. It doesn't have to be a huge city center. They could all vary on size and whatever, but there's a lot of things that are sort of all over the place in the game that could be pulled into one sort of central area, like cities are, right?
Right.
Maybe that's where all this data mined food stuff can also come in. Maybe
we got an answer to the food. We got an answer to the food tonight.
I heard that too. That it could just be text.
That then makes it to where people have to come that don't want to be around those cities, right? There are people that don't want to. You're saying they're centralized. It would encourage them. Let's say it's not say it has to, but
right,
you're then saying it encourages them
than forcing you.
Yes, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I guess other than centralization, I don't see a point. It just gets I think they'll just get repetitive.
It's sci-fi.
I think they'll just get repetitive.
One of the most sci-fi things to me is the scene in the movie Contact with Jodie Foster, where she's flying through that whatever wormhole, and she stops briefly and is floating out in space, and she looks down at a planet, an alien planet, and sees a city grid of lights on the dark side of the planet, right? That for me is one of the most sci-fi moments to find like other civilizations on other planets. Like for me as a human,
but the only problem
Jodie Foster confirmed
is we only know they're not going to add a fifth race. I'm pretty sure, and Byond, I would not expect them to, or you know what I mean. Procedural races, I think that would get as cool as it might be at the first time. You know what I mean? It's always been so. I don't know. It's been repetitive to me. Whenever they add these, I feel like cities would just be repetitive if they're going to add it. Maybe that's just me, but I think I don't.
Yeah, but repetition is what the game currently is.
What if they traded the trading post for cities?
Yes.
I mean, you essentially could do the same thing in it, but you would just have a little bit more of a structure rather than just some landing pads and and that's it.
It's just
aren't the trading pads a little bit repetitive?
They're all the same. Yeah. They look exactly the same. So of course those are repetitive.
Yeah.
Right. So why not
they aren't necessary
these repetitive elements? Why not throw these repetitive elements that we find in space stations? They're all the same. All the same merchants are there. All the same mission people are there. Then we find all these, randomly scattered buildings. They all have the same stuff in them. If you then put those and place those in different areas in procedurally generated city structures, that could provide some very good variety for some people don't even want to fly out into space, right? But then you don't have access to.
You do have a point there,
right?
But that does mean. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that does mean that we would have to go if we don't want to fly in space, and I don't know. I'm just being difficult here. They're probably going to do something like this and centralize these things. That means we'd have to, if we want to stay on our starting planet, which I think I'm going to start up a VR save to just start that means we have to go to the cities. That's the only thing.
Well, not really. I mean, because the center is a big attraction to get to another galaxy. It's hinted that you should go. Right, and it's trying to push you in that direction. But how many of us have? How many of us do? Right. I mean, that's one of the goals of the game is to go to the center. But it's something that we could all choose to ignore to do.
Yeah,
I've completely ignored it because to me, I've seen from YouTube videos what happens when you finally get there. I'm like, meh. There's no reason for me personally to go there. I don't want to leave Euclid. Everybody's playing Euclid. I don't want to leave Euclid.
Born in Euclid, man, right here.
So we do have the fact that we have the spawn circle, right, in a loop in the galaxy that we spawn in this general area about the center, away from the center of the galaxy, right? It's all the way around. what if cities don't spawn there? So your starting planet, you'd have to get closer to the center of the galaxy. I would be more okay with something like that. Like, as in, even the one city, mega city planet per quadrant, right? We know where they are. I would almost prefer that, where we know where the cities are rather than just stumbling upon them.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
definitely
me.
agree.
It would be cool if they used
they
the
should be
Galactic
rare.
Atlas and put them in the systems that are already established hubs, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
every hub
There you
that's
go.
already
There's
established
a-
in the,
Yes.
then there's only
yes.
like what a dozen cities, and
Oh,
then
That's
there's
right.
places that
I
are
only have a
already
dozen
populated.
cities per. Only have a dozen cities per galaxy.
Exactly. That's a
Yeah,
good
And
point,
it's
too.
not even procedural. They pick where they are.
That's it,
How
yeah.
they're generated is procedural, but not where they are.
Yeah, and everywhere else, those could be small villages, right? The same functionality
Yeah.
could be implemented into small villages or ancient cities or
And yeah, exactly. Put some
camps,
ruins in there. Some like what looks like it
That
used to be a city because
makes
maybe the Sentinels destroyed it. Like, all right, you're not living here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Okay, yes, that's perfect because then it appeases people like Ray Reynolds. It
just-
matches
why
up
are-
with
I
the
don't
lore.
understand why this is a topic that so many people are divided on. I find it so ridiculous. Like, no cities. Yes, I want cities. No,
Free
you're not
update.
getting them.
It's a free update.
That is funny.
If it
It
doesn't
is
come,
funny.
it doesn't come. If it comes, it comes. We can ignore the feature.
Of all things that I thought people would argue about with No Man's Sky, never thought it would be something like this. I want to introduce Zyger Boy. He's been so patient. Zyger Boy, what's up, buddy? Uh-oh.
We meet you again.
There we go. We got you.
Hey, buddy. And I just wanted to say hi, RayRod. And he's been doing a lot of work for this community, and I want to appreciate that how much hard work he has done for all of us and whatever project he's been doing in future. And I wish him all the best for the project, and I do hope that he would make some kind of wonder. And I just hope you wish him well, and been excited looking for his next project.
You hear that, RayRod?
Oh, thank you so much, man. That means a lot to me.
Thanks to you that you've been working so hard for all these mods, and you have brought a kind of a different version of the game entirely. And I have seen a lot of people playing, and even I tried to play once, and I really love the way you have redesigned the entire game. And I'm hoping for if you could be working for the space update, like a lot of people have been asking for that, and if you have any future plans on that. And like even I wish you could join the Hello Games as soon as possible.
Guys, we're probably going to go late tonight because there's a lot of people that are wanting to get on the show, and I don't want to cut them short. I don't want to cut anybody short or just not have those people not get a chance to come on the show tonight. So if you're waiting in there, I promise I'm going to get you on the show no matter how late I have to stay up.
I'm gonna have to dip here soon.
Okay, buddy. And if anybody hasn't had a chance to talk in a while, interrupt me, interrupt somebody. It's a podcast. Let's go. We got Rude TV joining us. Rudy, what's up, buddy?
Yo, what's going on, Cobra?
Not much, man. It's been a while since you've been on the show, dude.
It's been a long time. It's been a journey, but I am super stoked. I know I've always come on your show and talk about VR, and I think I'm one of the most excited person, man.
You are. You always. What's that called when somebody's got to breathe into a paper bag because they're excited? Yeah. What's that called? It's called like hydra or something.
The hype.
Hyperventilating.
Hyperventilating. Yeah, you're the hyperventilated caller. So it's good to have y'all, man. What's on your mind tonight, dude?
Oh man, it's a lot of things, man. Like I can't believe it's actually happening. Like I think I saw the trailer probably 100 times already, but one thing that's on my mind is I know they say the VR is the full game. The whole game can be played in VR.
Correct.
But have you guys thought about how is it going to be when you in space and hit the galaxy map?
Good question.
Ooh.
How is that going to be? Like,
Oh,
are we
imagine
going to
swiping around with your hands and swiping
exactly?
through
Are we just going to be picking planets with our move controllers? Like, are we just going to be flying through endless of stars? Like, that's a full mini game right there.
Wow.
Immediately.
Dude, that could get, oh my gosh. Yeah, that'd be so cool just flying around it and looking around.
Yes.
Alan Poe,
Like-
thank you so much for the super chat donation saying I want for example 2 toxic planets to have different plants from each other despite being two toxic planets. I'm saying plants. Two toxic planets that would help out. Thank you so much, Alan Poe. Thank you, buddy. But oh my gosh, flying through the galaxy map with VR.
Yeah, like how is the galaxy map gonna look like? Like that was one thing on my mind.
Wow.
The other thing on my mind is I don't know. Like I don't know how this is gonna work, but I know they changed this already during Next. When you pick a planet or pick a new star system and you hit warp, there is a warping animation. Now, if you're playing it in VR, you know you can't be static. You know you have so is the warping animation going to be changed? That's my other thing.
Let's hope so, because I'm waiting for it to change.
I am too. Yeah.
It's long, boring, and you can't do anything. So I'm thinking, even if it's just an animation, but if I could turn my head around and look around my ship while that's, loading or whatever, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. I think so.
What if the third update is a space update where they implement no more loading in between systems? Do you think it would be possible to actually fly from system to system like a hyperdrive that sends you even faster and than the normal warp in a system? Wow. And do you think they'd be able to do actually implement suns and rotate?
That's my another thing. Hey Cobra, what do you think? Do you think number 3 could be planet rotation?
I don't know. I mean, that's not something that they weren't able to do. They actually had it working, and they said they took it out because it was disorientating to people playing. I don't understand that excuse for taking it out, but
but then they throw them on a planet that's a toxic planet with their health dying, and that's not disorienting.
Yeah.
Now it's in VR. I'm sure it's more disorienting, but no, I'm thinking it's gonna be something with space. Like I feel like it's gonna be really big and major. Like I like who knows? Like the sun could actually be a sun this time. Man, I don't care what it is. I'm just happy for VR.
I am too, especially after seeing what VR is. I wasn't before, but I didn't know
what... You have a PSVR, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do now. Yeah.
So have you played Eve Valkyrie, the demo?
Yes! Yes!
Okay. The first thought in your mind, I know it was No Man's Sky, when you sat on the cockpit and it flew you out the hangar.
Oh, yeah. And my first thought, when I'm looking around the cockpit, I'm like, I wish I could do this in No Man's Sky.
And it's happening. This is happening.
I know. Alan Poe, I want to thank Alan Poe so much for the super chat donation, saying, just want to say Borderlands 3, hell yeah. Panda's in the chat as well. What's up, Panda?
Panda.
Yeah. So I want to get a lot of people on here. All right. So we're going to try and get some people. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been in the Atlas room just waiting. We've got a contender for Snow Obsidian. We've got Obsidian 0. Is this the better Obsidian?
Hold on a second. I've got everything running here.
Not the better Obsidian. That's no, I'm kidding.
It's me. It's the guy that swears a lot.
The delayed Obsidian.
Yeah, I'm always delayed.
Obsidian, do you play with My Little Ponies?
No, I do not play
All right, well that's a point for you.
Obsidian.
I'm kidding, Snow. I'm kidding.
No. Actually, Snow actually came and visited me the other day while I was playing. It was actually kind of nice. He challenged me to a fight, and I told him, dude, you'd wreck me so bad it wouldn't even be funny.
That is crazy.
Oh, dude, he killed me.
And I'm hurting myself.
I better watch out. As much as I'm making fun of Snow Obsidian, he's going to hunt me down. Yes, sir.
About the third and final feature of No Man's Sky Beyond. This way. This goes to everyone. This way. Speculate the third part of Beyond.
Did you switch over to a walkie-talkie?
Yes. I figured that my speakers and my...
It's either that or a drive-through. I can't tell. I'll have a number 2 with a large Coke.
These are not the droids you're looking for. Move along.
Say that, Snow Obsidian. Say that.
Cobra, your screen.
My screen?
You have a YouTube video that stops
Oh.
and it's just like a bunch of ads.
Okay.
Okay, so back to my topic. Multiplayer support. Correction. Multiplayer VR support. The functionality, not the functionality of features, not in the content. So, with the big advancement
Snow.
in the lobbies,
You're gonna have to type this out, dude.
let me finish.
Cobra can't get through this. He's laughing his ass off
No,
over here.
Snow, you're breaking up.
Through this.
You're
gonna have
getting
to
every
type
other
this.
word.
Type this in Subcast chat because he can't get this. He can't understand. We can't. None of us can understand, dude.
It's breaking up.
I can read it for you if you wish.
Hey,
Yes, that would be perfect.
I'll switch headsets.
Obsidian can just do that.
I will switch headsets. Give me.
What?
Alright, in the meantime.
No. No, please change
Well, we
your
hit the
name.
brakes here, didn't we?
In the meantime.
Cobra,
So-
I have a really quick thing. I know if I don't know if this was mentioned before, but the very first teaser trailer of Byond, that ship was parked somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a landing pad or
Right. Yeah. That's a good. Yeah. There's nothing there. It was just landed on a structure. It was really
so
weird.
is that like a different lobby, or is that like it could be like where we all meet up, or is that like where somewhere you build your ship?
Check
That's-
1, 2, testing.
Yeah.
Like a repair bay.
Still cutting.
Yeah. We've actually speculated that. What if there was like some kind of customization? That's where you customize your
If
ship.
there's customization, that would mean it would probably be very light, as in like color changing and putting on little decals onto your ship. I would highly doubt we can fully customize our ship because that removes an entire loop of gameplay from the current game.
Well, if you
I
look
don't
at that
see that
ship,
happening.
it looks like there's something new to that, like some kind of new piece to that ship.
Yeah, you can
Either
throw
that or
onto a ship.
I think they update their ship textures, like more updates to the ship textures.
So
I
here's
won't
my
be
You know
surprised
question.
to
what
that.
though? You know what they might do? Like if it were me, if you have a bunch of ships in your inventory, you can take them apart and using the parts that you've collected, build something completely different. That's the way I'd handle it.
Cobra, and I think they did more than I think they have more cockpit variations now. I really think so.
I
There's
still
a-
think that
So many
still
things I can
think-
say to that. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Obsidian, I still think that it kind of removes the gameplay because then you can just buy up a bunch of C classes and stitch them together and somehow make an S class. You know what I mean? I think that would remove from that, you know what I mean, ship hunting loop that people enjoy.
Yeah, you're
Personally,
probably, you're probably right. But at the same time, like seeing that go away is not necessarily a bad thing. But if they were to remove it so you're in, it's all depends on the mode that you're in, that would be fantastic. Also, what I'd love to see, and nobody's mentioned this, is the ability to copy a save and paste it somewhere else, so you have two of the same saves. Still hasn't been done yet since day one. That would be fantastic.
There's something on the ship here, and I got it on the screen. It looks like there's a piece to the ship that I don't recognize.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, I've seen them on ships. The
It's
side,
like-
the side wings. Kind of.
Yeah, it looks like a rail there, but it's
Yeah.
actually like almost like a blade like.
have you guys seen the
wing.
one where the mech droid that you can get on your ship? On
one-
some ships.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
ships have it on the right hand side.
Yeah,
It
I
turns.
think that's
Yeah,
the kind of those are the kind of little things that you can add onto your ship. If we get ship customization at all, I think it would be small things like that, throwing on that little mech droid on the side of your ship, or something like that. I don't think we'll see full blown customization.
I think
would
there might
like-
be a new ship entering animation.
I would
because-
I would like to see a new station that where you would like pull into and it was all like for just customizing your ship. So like you don't do it in the space station. It's like a brand new station that's floating in space that you would go into and do that in, which might
Yeah.
be what we're looking at.
Or
It'd be nice if we could actually land on one of those space stations and, claim it as a base. That would be sweet.
That would be cool.
Or pull into a, land down.
But remember, this was the trailer for online, so this has got to have this room, this building has got to have something to do with online lobbies.
I'm gonna say my speculation is city hubs, but thank you, Alan Post, so much for the donation to the super chat, saying, "For all I'm super chatting, you owe me a shirt." Yes, I do, Alan Poe. Yeah, I do, buddy. Let me get some more people on here. We got three people. Some people have left because they're tired of waiting, and I don't blame them. I've never I'm not managing this one tonight very well. Maybe it's just because we're all excited and it's just a lot. We got.
Really
you're doing great.
We really should do an open room. Personally, I think we should just all hop into the Atlas 102 to make sure we get everyone in here.
Hey, what's up?
Yowks! Yowks! 09. Yowks! 09.
Geos.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. What brings you on the show tonight, man? What's on your mind? We still have RayRod on here. If you got any questions for RayRod about what he's seen in the data files or what he plans on with his mod that he's making, or whatever's on your mind.
The first thing I want to ask him is if RayRod, do you see any chance of seeing all these procedural codes and super formulas in the game? Because let me say this real quick, it's just, it doesn't make any sense the way that they took the variation of the game away. Because, for example, look at the toxic planets. It's just ridiculous the way that they are all the same. When I see them, I just fly away.
Right.
Very true.
Yeah.
I think we need another universe reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting this game all over in VR.
The thing I'm doing in VR is I'm going a save on my PC probably, and I'm going to literally stay on my starting planet and start really exploring. You know what I mean? I begin to explore all of it before the next reset when Byond launches.
I can't wait for VR in the freaking motorcycle. Can you imagine
Oh
being
my
in a
God.
motorcycle in VR?
My only hope right now for the game is that they took all the variation away, because they are working on an insane super formula or something like that, because it's just not right, and they know that.
Oh yeah. No, I agree with you.
There's no variation. They took away too drastically.
I don't know if anybody remembers though, but if in No Man's Sky 1.0, when we were just talking about this in the other channel. When I started on a fungal mold planet, and some of the stuff I was seeing was just so fantastic. It was mind blowing. And you know what? I've been on a ton of toxic planets after 1.0, and they just don't look nearly as good as they used to.
No, they all look the same.
Because they took, and yet to your point, we need more variation. I 100% will back you up on that. But they took a lot of the color, a lot of the exoticness away from your average planet, and a little bit of that came back with Visions. But I'm going to be honest and say not enough came back with Visions.
Because you used to have multicolored grass.
They made the game look more AAA rather than indie. Because I would say 1.0 definitely looked indie compared to Next. Next looks more mainstream, you know what I mean?
Polished.
And more AAA.
I totally agree with that statement.
Hello?
Yeah, buddy, go ahead, RayRod.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, where my heart is at, it's in those trailers, bro. Like, that feeling of walking in a painterly 80s sci-fi novel, like that wonder, like that, like the soul to No Man's Sky. It was originally, the main, incentive was meant to be exploration. but like the variety, like most of the color variety and the terrain variety and the biome variety, like they've added some things, but at the same time, like the way that the biomes and the environments and just variety in general and different aspects of the game has been like toned down to what it is right now. So it's like it's a lot more restrained. I'm not entirely sure why, but it's like this game really could be so much more. And in regard to the super formula, I don't know if Hello Games is going to implement that. I mean, it would be nice. I mean, the originally like the concept, a concept to the game was that the closer you got to the center, the more mutated, and alien things would become. Like you would start off on the outer edge of the universe, and at the outer edge of the galaxy, and at the outer edge of the galaxy, you would be supposed to like travel towards the center, and the closer you got to the center, the more cranked up in alien things would get, in the game's generational algorithms. That's what they were planning. And in the Portal trailer, like you would go through a portal and you would end up closer to the center of the galaxy, and it would be an exotic or strange looking planet that you couldn't take your ship through, but it would be rich in resources, but you'd have to come back out, on the other end, which would further, which was intended to further increase your incentive to want to get to the center. It talked about planets being affected by distance to the sun. There's also deleted Wikipedia information that talked about like erosion and in-game evolution and crazy things and actual physics, and lots of different things that were features, stuff that was going on in old builds, sort of like planetary rotation, which is actually, it was briefly showcased at exactly 1 minute into the Infinite Worlds trailer. And there's another gameplay demonstration where the person who was playing, I think it was Sean, he fell asleep at the monolith, and when he woke up, the physical location of the planet that was there had moved. It wasn't in the same place, and in the files is also data for orbital mechanics. So there's like a lot of things that either were in testing that were going on, but there's a lot of things in the files right now that just isn't, it's not being used, or if it is being used, it's barely being used, and it could be used so much more effectively if somebody were to like just, put some time into with it.
Hey,
now
Ray,
you keep bringing that up, that the only 2% of the engine's being used.
Yeah,
that's
that's mind blowing.
Yeah,
I mean,
actually, I got a quick question. If you've looked at the code, because I'm a computer programmer, like, are they just not being called? Like, they're just sort of sitting there and then they're doing nothing? Like,
I mean, a lot of the features are booleans and they're just marked to false. They're just off. They're not being used, or stuff that is being used. Like, they set the groundwork to, to really be able to push those things. Like, for example, one of the changes that they made was in the past, biomes, they used to be restricted to 4 slots, which were called full, mid, which full was like supposed to be the most dense, and mid was like, it was dense, but not as dense as full, and low was less dense than mid, and dead was less dense than low. You could have like 4 files like that would get loaded, like object files. Basically, the biomes, like the biome file, the main biome file is like the control center, and then the object slots contain like all the assets, like the 3D models that get called and their rules for how they get generated and their styles. Like, it was limited to 4 slots, but when Next hit, they took off that 4 limit cap, meaning that one biome can literally have an infinite number of object files getting loaded, meaning that you could have any number of biomes to be able to get loaded on one particular biome. So you could have, for example, think of like a lush planet. Like, you could have one style of a lush planet, or two completely different style of a lush planet. You could have all of these different styles instead of just being limited to 4, for like one biome, like those sub biomes and stuff like that. So it's like there's like, like in regard to like what is being used, like right now, a lot of what's being used is really just toned down. Like it's not really.
And why do you think that
being
is?
used that much?
Oh man, I totally wish I had it for PC.
Do you think it's toned down because they want it the same to be on a PC and PS4, and that's the reason why it's been toned down?
Honestly, I have no idea. Like Hello Games, they're very unpredictable, and they do things, and nobody really knows why except them.
Do you think they could use more than 2% for it to run on PS4?
I mean, I would think so. Yeah, like I don't know. Like, do you remember that planet called Achaea? That snowy mountain planet from one of the gameplay trailers, like the frozen mountainous planet. With
Okay,
the water.
yes.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure all we remember it.
Yeah, on that.
I don't think there's many people that know that planet.
Right. Well, I mean, Achaea right there, like they had like during that time, like they had like 10 different like styles of Crescent worlds at the time that they were just changing and switching up and testing with. Like there's just so much going on that they've changed, and there's really like no explanation to why it's going on. It's just really confusing. Like I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. It's just really weird. And also if if you were to like use IDA or Ollie and just like look through the executable of the game, like there's like weird crazy talk. Like sometimes like their Hello Games is like cracking jokes, like writing it in there for some reason. Like I'm trying to think of one thing. Yeah, like one time they were talking about, I think, like onions and potatoes or something like that. Like, and it's like, why would they put that there? Like, nobody even, who's gonna find that? I mean, I did, but like, why is it there? They talked about like onions and potatoes and like.
Sounds like for survival, you'd like if you were going to do that, you'd probably be more Minecraft like, where you got to find food, etc.
Yeah, in one of their files they said "you mother effer," and I'm just like. They say all these crazy things, like
yeah, dude, I do it all the time. There's 2 or 3 websites that are floating around the internet that if you look in the comments, you'll see that like this section is full of shit. Oh, I used to do it all the time. Oh yeah, bro, it's all over the place.
Yeah, well, you're saying you're seeing that in comments, or are you seeing that in the code?
I'm talking about in the files. Like they have
in the files. You think they're sending you messages?
No, they just have those things have been there since day one.
We know Ray will see this.
Those things have been there since day one. Like even in the PS4's version of the executable, they have like some really bizarre things going on in there. I mean,
you extracted version 1.0 from, didn't you? The disk off of the that's what I remember that pre-next.
Can you edit the files from PS4 on a PC? Because I will totally do that.
Yeah, I have the PS4 files from No Man's Sky decrypted and on my PC, and I ported the biomes from the RC1 1.0 build into the Multiverse Fan project.
Okay, you gotta get a hold of me later, bro.
Alright, sounds good.
RayRod, genius.
Platitude Platypus, thank you so much for the donation. He says, onions and potatoes.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm trying to find like some of the ridiculous, like random things that Hello Games is like hidden in their code and stuff.
Well, RayRod is working on that, Cobra. I gotta bow out.
Okay, buddy. Hey, you just did you just join our Patreon?
Yes, sir. I did.
I want to thank you so much, buddy, for that.
Yeah, it's only 5 right now. I'm gonna wait here sometime.
Oops! I just kicked him out. I just
what in the world
accidentally
just
kicked
happened?
you out.
Oh gosh.
I was trying to change your role to Patreon supporter. Okay, I did it right. Wrong button. Sorry.
Become a patron. I got kicked out by the Cobra himself. Yes, bonus.
Did you just subscribe to Patreon? Fine,
I still have his boot mark on my butt. I'm never gonna watch it again.
Oh my god.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, I found one thing. It says tum-ti-tum.
Tum-ti-tum.
Yeah, they put. I mean, like this is like common language, but they had like "Hello World" in there. Tum-ti-tum. You mother effer.
Oh, yeah. I want the context of that. I want the context of it. Whereabouts is it in the code?
That's in the PS4's eboot.m bin. That's like the PS4's version.
I can tell you why. I can tell you why they wrote that. Because working with eboots, it's a serious pain in the ass. I don't know if you've ever done any modding on a PSP.
Yeah, I worked with PSP, and also I made a lot of content for GTA 5.
Yeah, so I don't even need to tell you why they wrote that in there. So they're actually bitching about the bootloader. That's what that is.
But yeah,
they had the same thing going on PC, like just random files, just XML based content.
Really? I'd love to. I want to take a look at that.
Yeah, I can find it and like share it. I've shared it before.
Okay, Stubborn Ninja. You have a good night, buddy.
I had one idea. I sent you that message. I don't know if you just saw it. A Friday night No Man's Sky where it's no Discord at all. We just meet up on one planet, a different planet each night. And you know what I mean? Everyone, it's the first 16 people and they're in. But you know what I mean? We all hang out. We go craft a bunch of different things on that world. We make a base together. You know what I mean? I think that would be a really cool, you know what I mean? A really cool event to hold every Friday
I
night,
agree. I think we should actually be doing that while we're having the subcast.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Every Friday night we do that. It's called Friday Night No Man's Sky, and you get 3 other people in with you, and you make a base on a different.
I agree. Sounds like a good idea. We'll get together
so next Friday.
Yeah, we'll do that on our next subcast. 100%, bud.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later, guys.
Later, dude.
Guys, go hit that like button, smash that like button for Cobra. I see a bunch of you in there. I only see a couple of likes. We got to get more likes in here. Come on, guys.
Thank
I
you,
know
buddy.
you can do this.
Only a couple likes? Come on, guys. What's up?
That's because we secretly don't like Cobra. We're all assholes. That's the way that works.
No, we're not.
Wow.
I always forget to like videos when I watch them. Jason, what is up, bud?
Hey, it's been a while, Cobra.
It's been a long time, man.
Whoa, Jason.
Hey.
What's up, dude?
What's going on, Jason? What brings you on the show today? What's on your mind?
Well, basically VR. VR No Man's Sky's on my...
We'll talk about it, buddy. What are you excited about? Finally getting into the game, finally being inserted into these planets, finally sitting inside your cockpit for the very first time?
Well, my home planet's name is Dune, and I just wanted to walk around Dune and look and see everything. I'm just excited, man. I'm giddy.
Well, I want to come to your planet and walk around Dune too.
Hey, I have a theory about the size. The 3 updates. I mean, the third one.
Oh yeah, please do tell.
Because it seems like they hype up every update that they have shown. For example, No Man's Sky Online, they show it. I mean, they gave a lot of information about it. I find it weird the way that they just talked about it. But for example, VR, they are being a little bit more cryptic, and they released a trailer for it. And the third one must be the biggest one. That's what I think, because they are kind of hyping up each update and even being more cryptic about it, I think.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's like a sales pitch. You see that happen a lot with other things that comes out in 3 things. It's the first one and the second one. And then the third one is going to be the big explosion, which is going to be awesome. So
I agree.
Or
they're saving the best for last.
Or everyone downloads the game, everyone gets all the updates, they do all this stuff, and then all of a sudden they turn it back to 1.0 and troll everyone.
That would be hilarious.
Dude, I would laugh. I would hurt myself laughing. I would buy Sean a coffee. I would fly to England. I would buy Sean a coffee, and I'd be like, "Yo, dude, that was awesome. That would be great."
We got Justin in the chat saying, "Bring back the face cam, bro," and somebody else said #facecam. I will. Next Subcast, I'll be on the camera. It was just I didn't have time to set it up tonight, and it's a big thing. It's a whole thing. It's a tripod. It's a long cable. It's a thing.
He will be wearing his headset while he has his VR headset on, so you cannot recognize him anymore.
Yes, very true.
It looked like Corvax.
Hey, yeah, well, okay, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that one.
Somebody needs to build and market a Corvax headset where you that is a VR headset. That would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Oh, like a DIY kit to build around the PSVR. Or
It
around
almost
the,
does look like a
the
Corvax
Rift.
already.
Yeah, you could.
It's fairly close. Spray paint it silver. We've got a new caller on the show. We got La Ibzer.
It's sleep, so. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, bud? Sorry, I butcher everybody's name.
No, it's alright.
How you doing tonight, bud?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, my name isn't Ethan Wood. I made it up. It kind of means laser, but with a B in the middle.
Oh, Labzer.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Labzer. All right, cool, man. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, it's actually to do with the VR headset. Who was it been mentioned who should buy the VR headsets, like Oculus, HTC 5? And...
There was Stubborn Ninja who now... oh wait, there was Stubborn Ninja who's talking about all the different headsets there are, yeah.
Yes.
I just wanted to bring up my opinion on what headset the people probably should get. Well, first thing, if you're a console gamer, like you don't care about PC, then just get the PSVR. Like, there's no reason to invest with a PC if you are a
Right,
PC
if you already have a
gamer.
PS4 and you don't have a high-end PC, I would just definitely go with the PSVR. Martin, are you watching the Byond trailer? Because I hear some heavy breathing.
No, I think it's another website I normally watch. It's called Jackson Dungeons. I don't know if you've heard of it.
You know, when my dad was on a Subcast, he
Hey,
did
man,
point you
I don't think
to
you-
a weird website.
I don't think you will hear heavy breathing. It will be something else, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a little bit of... yeah, okay.
Let's keep it nice in here.
But yeah. If you are a PC gamer and you do want to get, like you have a high-end PC and you want to get the best experience, I would say wait until May for more information about the Valve Index, since that's getting really hyped right now.
That's very true. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out, stuff that is new, and also there's, if you're going to get it for the PS4, I would wait too. I know that Stubborn Ninja had a good point. You got to get your VR legs. You got to get used to it. But at the same time, I don't know why they're re-releasing it as a VR title. Maybe there's a bundle that they're coming out with, or maybe that, they said something weird about how you can reach into your backpack and pull out your mining laser. So I'm wondering if there's like some really cool thing we could wear and hook up our move controllers, because maybe, just maybe, and what I'm speculating is with the cockpits looking just like the Thrustmaster, the HOTAS, maybe they're going to integrate it.
Oh yeah, I actually have one of those.
Wait a minute. Did anybody see that guy who manufactured his own laser? It was on friggin' Twitter.
Yes.
Oh, it's on multi-tool. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like, get a hold of that guy. He'll give you how to build it.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, you could attach your move controller right to it.
If that guy was smart, he'd be going, "Hey guys, with all the VR thing going on here, you know what? You should order one from me. You should be building these things en masse."
Right.
So
yeah.
get a hold of that guy.
It's not on the official website. Doesn't Sean say that you can play it with the Thrustmaster?
No, he doesn't. He said grab your joysticks.
Or
but
Thrustmaster.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't say Thrustmaster.
Thruster.
Thruster.
When I heard
Okay.
Thrustmaster, I thought it was something completely different.
Yeah, that's what really so
It took me to a different website.
I'm sure you did, Cover.
Yeah, don't Google that.
I didn't want to say it, but I thought
Don't Google that, he said.
Especially at this time, don't Google it. Don't Google it at this time.
But what if there is, like, the speculations, like, what if there's a combination of using the move controllers and using a Thrustmaster at the same time? And
This is getting weird and awkward.
it is. It's getting kind of strange.
I'm sorry.
Pick up your Thrustmaster.
So I haven't touched myself on VR yet, but what I am wondering about, what we saw, the trailer, all we saw was like without a HUD interface and filmed without the HUD. And I wonder what happens, in the normal game, if we interact with aliens or interact with machinery, we get directly zoomed into a text, and I think that's not going to be like that VR because that's going to make you very dizzy. So I just wonder how they're going to tackle that in VR, because all we have seen is just a little bit about VR, but you did not see actual HUD interfaces, and I'm wondering how they're going to implement that, because
It'd be cool if they just do bubbles above their head.
That's a very good point. I didn't think about that.
When I worked in my VR, when I was playing around with VR on Unity, what I tended to do is I would put the HUD like off to the left. So when you're turning, it's sort of there, and you look at when you look at it for a period of time, it would open up. You can make your choice, and then you look away, and it was just like a little circle that just stayed off to your left. And all you had to do is look left. It would open up. You do your thing, and then you just look right, and it would close.
Yeah, it's the same as in Skyrim VR, where you look up and you see your compass, and if you look straight ahead, you don't see that. You only see your interface when you're looking a certain point. Then it will activate. So maybe they do something like that. That would be very awesome. Yeah.
I'm just gonna lay on my bed and look up in the sky.
Me too.
Yeah. Now we can actually. Well, I don't know what. I don't think your character is going to lay down.
No. I'm going to physically lay on the bed and just look up. My character is laying on the ground.
I wonder how the flight controls will be.
I think if I did that and my wife came downstairs, she'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Are you using the Thrustmaster?
Are you using the Thrustmaster?
Hey, honey, I'm going to go into the bedroom with the Thrustmaster.
Hello? Am I in the right subcast?
Carlos, yes, you came into the right subcast at the wrong time. What's up, Carlos? How you doing?
Hey there, I'm doing great. I've just been listening to everything you guys have been saying and feeling left out, because I know the moment I ended up being Rapture, I would completely forget how to even words. So let's see if I remember barely what I wanted to say. First of all, I strongly believe there is going to be ship customization, just due to the trailer showing a ship that's a very, very close variation of the default starting ship. What else? I do hope for cities as well, just as well as RayRod and everybody else suggested, and ruins of cities as well, or ancient civilizations. Like I want lots of ruins. I want the Tomb Raider, this game to from start to end.
Oh, I agree, buddy. I agree. I think it needs ruins. I think it needs cities that used to stand and they're gone because the Sentinels waged war. I think there needs to be evidence that the Viking were at war with the Sentinels at one point in time. So I definitely think that you're right. There needs to be some ruins.
Time travel?
Alan Poe, thank you so much for the super chat. Says orders Thrustmaster and it arrives. He says, "No, Mom, it's for a video game." Oh my God, a new trailer just dropped.
Really? What?
April Fools.
Hey, you know what, Cobra? I'm gonna make that into a suppository and I'm mailing it to you, bro.
That was a heart condition. You don't do that.
That's my one joke. I won't be doing it again.
Okay, Cobra, you're fired. Sorry.
Oh, darn it.
Cobra's canceled.
Man, it's 24 hours. It's just gonna be non-stop No Man's Sky trailers on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is gonna be crazy. Be careful out there,
do that
guys.
anyway, man.
Do you guys think Byond is like time travel? We're going back in the past or in the future?
I'm not
It'd be
sure.
amazing, but who knows?
I'm
Well,
hoping
they did say it was their most ambitious update, right?
I'm hoping that when the
So
update drops.
What if we go back in time and see these ancient civilizations?
View the story of each major race happening in front of you and see the outcomes of the wars of planets on fire and etc.
That'd be neat.
Maybe with the online play, we can have certain roles. Maybe you can become like a Thrustmaster.
Everybody in the
I am gonna go. I am
Everybody
gonna
in the
call
chat's mad at me.
GameStop tomorrow and ask them if they have a used Thrustmaster.
Everyone in the chat's mad at me right now. I'm sorry, guys.
Did you say you're gonna go and get a used Thrustmaster? Oh my god, man,
that's terrible.
Cobra, this subcast took a left turn at Albuquerque.
We are derailing. We are derailing, people.
I'm sorry.
That's what happens after 12.
Yeah.
I can get used to it.
Every time I come into these things, this happens. I'm gonna have to stop.
No, don't stop. Please don't do that. We got another super chat from Alan Poe. I swear this guy's like Tony Stark in real life. Imagine finding an old battlefield full of rusted sentinels and Viking skeletons. That would be epic. Yes! That's what the archaeology in No Man's Sky should be. Come on, Sean.
You know
Buried
what,
temples with monsters in them.
You know what, though? You know what would be awesome? We haven't seen it yet. Companions. There's
Yeah,
no
the
companions.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous.
Feeling lonely? Get a Thrustmaster.
Advertisement at its
I also think we should just drag Viking into here because he's alone.
Okay, yeah, we're doing that.
I'm gonna drag you in there, Viking. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing good. Weird conversations, but we're good.
Still waiting for my Thrustmaster to come in the mail.
Yeah. I hope I ordered the right thing.
Hey, Cobra.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I send you a few images, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Should I look?
Of what? Exactly?
Yeah, wait. What are you sending me, RayRod?
Nothing bad. Just like some of those random things that Hello Games put there. It's like in your Twitter inbox.
Oh, okay, in the Twitter? All right, let's
Send it to me too. Ray.
Remember
Also-
April Fools.
Also, I'm just curious. Did you ever see that clip that I sent you?
The clip, the green, the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it right before the show. I'll play it here so people can leave. Or watch. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here reading at the same time as I'm talking, and I'm looking at the mother effer comment right now.
Hey, Cobra.
Yeah,
I have a question for RayRod.
go ahead, buddy.
Are we gonna ever see extreme weather and volcanic planets?
Oh yes, I want that soup. I know.
One can help.
Well, my friend Stowen, his Twitter username is Flameblind. Like he gave me an idea. I'm actually going to attempt it to create a volcano. I've created lava in the game before, but I haven't created a volcano.
Okay.
So I was actually planning to do that, and I'm also working on generating waterfalls and other cool things.
Ray. In I think it's Visions, or it was Next. Do you know those rivers without water? Was that supposed to have water in it? Because that's been driving me nuts.
I think those are actually caves that have misgenerated. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
oh really? Because they look like they could fit rivers almost. They look like they would be perfect for rivers.
Well, yeah, the terrain does. I mean, like in the files, the terrain does have unused rules for rivers. So yeah, like rivers can be a thing in the game. You know, I've also created lakes.
Really?
Yeah. So you can do stuff like that. You can have like some of the terrain features that are going to be in the multiverse. Like I have like interstellar style water worlds. I have I'm still working on porting the custom water shader that I had going on from pre-Next, and I have like this video with like dynamically rising like waves that would like it was like I had like this flooded forest with trees tilted over and trees knocked down, and there was like water moving about and waves that would kind of like rise up and go down, but it was like mostly like 3 feet water, like in the movie Interstellar. And there's like lakes, craters, quarries, and lots of other things. So there's a lot possible with the terrain in the game. It's just like repeated.
Right.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Does anyone think that how you enter your ship is going to change in Beyond, like in VR? Like instead of getting teleported into your ship, maybe like a ladder will come out and you can like walk up it and get in your cockpit?
Ooh, I would love that.
That would be awesome.
All right, we're taking a look at your forest video at the moment. You want to talk a little bit about that?
What video?
Oh, the forest video?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I was away for a while, so when I came back, I just made that overnight, and so I look forward to to moving on to the next thing now that I got that out of the way. So.
Oh wow, nice beautiful.
Well, it looks incredible, RayRod.
Like it doesn't even look like No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like
holy shit, Ray! That is friggin' amazing.
It is.
It is awesome. It is.
I'm
really,
from Canada,
really cool.
and that's what our forests look like. I'm not shitting you. Like, dude, I've been out in the bush, and that's what it looks like, man. Holy shit!
I have a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What happened with the color of the grass showed in the next trailer? I always wonder about that.
You know what? That's always been a question of ours. Like, why did they remove the color?
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know.
I have no idea why Hello Games does what Hello Games does, but the color can be removed. I don't know if you ever saw like that tweet that Hello Games tweeted like from the very early. I think it was like an E3 build where everything was like vibrant and painterly and stuff like that. Well, basically like the color palettes and all of that from like those really early builds where everything was vibrant and painterly. Like they showcased it at like one of their art events. Like I ported all of those back. Like I would go to the original images in my program. I would use like the color picker and stuff like that, and I would put those exact palettes from those old images and stuff like that, and pretty much port them back to the game. So there'll be infinite color variety, including bioluminescent planets. And what is it? I also fused the exact palettes from the Araya V Rainforest trailer, the one with the Diplos and the Rhino, into planetary rings. I have that reserved for when I actually recreate Araya V.
Nice.
That's
Hey,
really cool.
RayRod, a quick question. This came from the chat. Does each update break your mod?
I mean, yeah, it used to because there was a lot changed, but I used to just update it in a day, but this time it's taking longer because I'm learning different languages at once, and I'm also writing a program, and once I get out of the way, it's just going to do it for me, so yeah.
That's amazing. So it'll adapt to each update, and you won't have to redo anything.
Yeah, it's going to parse my stuff on top of the latest vanilla files.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh.
Wow,
Nice.
wow. Wilgons, thank you so much for becoming a Patreon member. Thank you, buddy. I do appreciate that.
And RayRod, do you have I know you're still busy with it. Do you have any time frame at all? Is it going to be somewhere after Byond that we might see some beta testing of your mod?
Okay, well, I mean, when it's probably never going to be finished. I'm probably going to work on it forever, but I'm going to have beta versions out. So I'm going to give out public betas.
Awesome.
It's I'm planning to do that very, 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 very soon.
Okay, awesome.
Is there any way at all to put these mods on the PlayStation? Has anybody actually tried?
Well, yeah, I modded the PlayStation 4 version, and I was also memory hacking it and stuff like that in game. Like you would do a cheat engine on the PC version.
Yeah.
But the thing is I put it on hold because I'm prioritizing the PC build first and foremost, so that I can just port it directly over to the PS4 when I'm ready to. But I do need to sort out certain things in regard to the PlayStation Archive encryption, because basically when you repack the PlayStation Archive files, it has to be the exact compression technique that they're using, or else it's just not going to look properly when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
So it's once I sort that out, then I can just do that.
Yeah, because eventually my PS4 will be EOL, right? So will the game. But I mean, I'm hoping if I can get everything backed up, then it wouldn't be such an arduous task to actually try to install the files from one of my own systems here at the house.
Yeah, and like installing it would be as simple as just putting in a USB drive and installing it from the XMB menu, and then uninstalling it would be as simple as just deleting it from the XMB menu. And then you're supposed to be back to the original state.
Yeah, normally if I want to install something on something, what I'll tend to do is I just change the DNS to point to one of my internal servers and have it download from there, so I don't have to, so I can avoid modding my PlayStation.
Yeah.
I want to thank Alan Post so much for the donation to the Super Chat saying, Hello Games, April Fool's joke will be so cruel. Yeah, I'm surprised that they aren't going to take advantage of that. I'll be surprised if they don't.
Super goes up to something.
Yes, actually, I heard that what they're doing is they're making a customizable character that looks exactly like Cobra.
Why would they ruin a perfectly nice game like that?
Gee, thanks. I think I'm more photogenic than you are, Martin.
Hey, well, I fooled you today with that April Fool's joke I made in both of the groups.
I thought you was going to be in the game with a Gex shirt on.
No, absolutely not. No. Please no. We don't need that. That's not needed. I do want to go ahead and ask, see if anybody out there would like to purchase a shirt to help the show. You see the picture there on the screen, the distracted girl meme where the guy looks at the girl and the girlfriend's all upset. You could help support the show and look so good you are a danger of being a homewrecker, just like Jane. We got cyberpunk inspired ones as well. Teespring shares a lot of the profit with us. It's better than any other company. And so you can actually get something while supporting us at the same exact time. You can find the link to that down below. I feel so dirty just now saying that. I've never shielded myself like that.
You should have just told me. I'd have totally shelled out for you, bro.
Guys, I will tell you, my Cobra TV T-shirt is probably one of the most comfortable T-shirts I've ever owned. So you got to get one.
I don't own a Cobra TV shirt, but I will totally buy one because I hear they're absolutely amazing and they look real stylish, and everyone's going to think you're awesome. So go get one right now.
Yeah.
So whoever photoshopped that, she kind of looks like a female priest. Just saying.
I know. I didn't erase the tag when I made that. Look, I think it's really good work for someone who
comes with a collar.
I watched a YouTube tutorial and I learned how to, use the fuzzy selector.
Next time, just ask me. Okay, just come to me, please.
You have all the support and free labor, dude.
Hey guys, do you think we'll see some news about Byond this week?
I think Sean Murray is like the biggest troll of them all. So I'm really expecting something during my coming dates. Now, like 6 a.m. in the morning. I really expect that he's gonna do something on April 1st. I just have this feeling because knowing Sean Murray, he's gonna do something.
Single player, if you're still in the chat, she donated earlier and I forgot to mention it. Thank you so much, single player. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I was reading chat. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't hear a word you said, Martin.
I just said that's
That's what I heard. For real. I thought I was reading again.
I was just rewinding my tape. No, the question was if we would hear something from Hello Games this week, and I was saying probably since it's gonna be April 1st, and we all know that Sean Murray is the biggest troll of them all, he's probably gonna say something at April 1st. I don't know what exactly, but it's like 6 a.m. over here. I think in England it's now 5 a.m. in the morning or something. So maybe we don't know.
He's just going to bed. He's a programmer, dude. Wait a minute, he doesn't sleep.
No, programmers don't sleep, do they, Ray?
Do you sleep, Ray?
Sometimes, but
he said sometimes.
Thanks a lot.
I want to see Sean Murray post something that says new trailer. When you open it, it goes up to Martin's goat song.
Oh, Martin's goat song, yeah. That should be the new Rickroll. Goat, oat.
Hey, I have a question for RayRod.
It's 5:30 a.m. by the way.
RayRod, have you found the files of the old host the game had? Because I mean, when they released NES, it had they changed the music of the game. Before that, the game had some kind of desolated sound and all that, but after Atlus Rises, I think, or next, they changed the soundtrack of the game. It was quite interesting and it made the game feel more unique. Have you found those files or seen any change or something like that?
Wait. So I just want to make sure that I understood you correctly. Sorry, I'm just eating this cake, but
Of course he's eating. Of course.
The cake is a lie, dude. You know that, right?
but these Danish is cake, but two different things I have. But anyway, so I just want to make sure I understand what you were saying. That are you saying like there was like are you talking about like how the audio is different? Like for example, like if you look at like an old footage, I think Elka once uploaded a video called like raw. It was something like raw something foot. I can't remember the name of it, but basically it was just in-game sounds of like the IGN footage planets like Yavil and Valari 5, and you could hear like all of these really immersive creature sounds. Like you'd hear the birds. It just sounded really nice. But that's like not in the game anymore.
No. I mean the music. For example, in the game in 1.0, we had this song called Contrastellar Borealis, something like that, and it's not anymore on the game, and it was quite good song and made the game feel so good and lonely.
So I mean they did change a lot of stuff with the audio. I really don't know any audio tools. Like someone I know named Monkey Man, like he was that was his account name. He was creating an audio tool, but when Next hit, like a lot changed, and you know, like what he planned to do to be able to add music to the game, like it's not looking like it can be done anymore. But I mean, you can still play music. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if those samples are still there in the files, just not being used anymore.
Didn't they procedurally generate the music? No, well, not all the tracks, but didn't they load them depending on which biome you had to be sitting in? I think that's what I talked to Earcom about it, but I can't really remember. Can't remember the conversation. Shit.
I'm sorry. Like, what did you say? I mean, I heard part of what you said, but I'm like half awake. I'm sorry.
No. Didn't they make the music procedurally generated, or sorry, start and stop based on and select the song based on the biome that you happen to be standing in? It was.
Oh yeah. There was talk about that. Yeah, like Earcom. Like yeah, that person. I can't remember his name, but Cobra had an interview with him. Like he was talking about how different environments would have different sounds. Not like Pro Tools, you know, if you ever played that game, but it kind of had that procedurally generated music. Like if you would go on top of a mountain, for example, like it would really sound like you're on top of a mountain. Like you know, he was talking about how No Man's Sky, you know, it was similar in a way where different biomes, different environments had different sounds, and it really was supposed to be really immersive in that way. I think it was supposed to be like that. Also, yeah, go. My bad.
I'm sorry about the people in the chat. What's his name? Playing with Russ says, "Guys, stop texting. He's not going to look at the regular chat, only donations." That's not true. If I don't listen to if I read, I totally can't hear what they're saying. I don't know if I got ADD or what it is. But I'm really sorry if I don't look at the chat all the time.
Ryan Johnson in the chat, he found the name of the video I was referring to by Elka. It was called Raw B-roll Footage with Sounds, that's all.
Oh yeah, the one I got in trouble for. I'm the one that uploaded that and I wasn't supposed to. And the PR guy for Hello Games and Kotaku and Polygon, they all told me how bad I was, how bad of a boy I was for uploading that so you guys could hear the sounds.
Bro, that's good, man. But You know what I think a lot of people wanted with No Man's Sky? I think this is basically what the concept was. I mean, like a major, part of what the game was supposed to be. Rather than having a preset number of biomes that the game can choose from that are chosen for you, that can be repetitive, like it was supposed to be a consistently unique universe. And that's what I'm working on. Like I'm trying, like I remember, like for example, like every planet unique, every planet procedural, every sun, everything is just completely procedural and unique, endless variety. Like in the trailers, and the game it very much can beat that. And I wish that they were using they talked about in old articles, not for the terrain, for the ecology, for the flora and stuff like that, but the multiverse that I'm working on, like I'm working hard to restore that original vision so that exploration in itself will always be a consistently unique, dynamic, unexpected experience, and that different planets will give you unique feels to them. And I'm making sure that it's consistent in quality and not buggy, and that everything feels as if it would be in addition to the game rather than just a mod.
And RayRod, I used other mods before, and I know you're like way more deeper into these codes and stuff. But are you gonna make sure that most people can run your mods? Because some mods that do big things, and if you run it, you might crash a lot.
Yeah, I'm not like that's what I like. What I do is, like, when I'm working on stuff, I'm consistently testing and looking for issues, and when I get some public betas out, that's also going to help me find more issues. But yeah, I'm going to make sure, like, I'm honestly, like, I'm a perfectionist with this stuff, which is why I see a lot of people releasing things, and I know that a lot of people want me to release it, but I refuse to rush the content that I'm working on because it could just end up being problematic. Like, it has to basically, once it reaches my standard, once it surpasses what was shown at once it reaches what it shows at E3, then I'm going to surpass that, and I'm going to surpass what surpasses that, and then I'm going to continue expanding and building upon the game more and more and more and more, and just keep pushing stuff out. So yeah, I'm going to make sure that it's not buggy, that it's not constantly crashing and all of that stuff. And fortunately, since it's going to be outputted from my program, like that human error, it's not going to be the same as if I was just doing everything by hand, half awake, probably messing something up, people crashing because of a silly typo, like that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure that it's consistent, because the thing is like, even though when I do get a beta out, it's going to be a beta. I mean, some issues are probably going to be expected, but I mean, like, the purpose of it is to, I mean, of course it can be enjoyed, but it's also to look for problems so that I can fix it and get the full thing ready ASAP. But it's also the same exact thing that I use, and I don't want to play on a buggy game. I don't have any bugs right now, though.
Okay. Have you made some sort of feedback sheet that people who are going to beta test it for you, that you exactly, there's a certain way how they need to fill out what happened, when happened, and if it can be repeated, the bug and stuff? Have you made something for your beta testers?
Oh, no, I have not made anything. I mean, I just let people use the beta. If they encounter an issue, I just ask a question.
You can handle it inside. You can handle it inside. Your catch, whatever you're using to catch, and have it automatically send you a dump. That's what I tend to do.
Marky Mark brings up a point in the chat saying, am I taking crazy pills here, or is no one going to speculate why Sean retweeted the Byond announcement tweet earlier?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he did just retweeted it again with number 3 mark there.
Bro. It could be because, did you see that the announcement for Byond, for the VR trailer, it's got 6.6 thousand likes on it, it's got 1,000 retweets and 639 comments, but he's asked people to stop, and it's a joke, but he's asked people to stop retweeting his tweet where he got locked out of the bathroom
It was funny though.
Right, because let me find it. It says this tweet is doing better than some of our announcements. Stop retweeting immediately. So,
Yep.
So maybe that's the reason why he retweeted it. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't. So the bathroom tweet got like 13,000 likes and 1.9 almost 2,000 retweets. So maybe that's why he retweeted it. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna hang out with the chat. Here in a minute. I'm gonna get off the call, and I'm gonna pay attention to the chat and sit here and talk to you guys for about 10-15 minutes. And for the guys on the call and everything, I think we're probably going to go ahead and wrap things up tonight, unless there's something on the table that you guys wanted to discuss real quick.
Well, I just want to know when I can become a thrust master.
I was thinking that exact thing. And stole it.
I've been proven 4 times I'm a thrust master.
You have a new beat now, Cobra.
All right, guys. It's been awesome having you guys on the show. RayRod, I want to really thank you so much for coming on and letting us pick your brain.
Thanks for having me here, Cobra.
No problem.
Thanks for letting me in. I appreciate it.
Oh, definitely.
Thanks for all your hard work you're doing, Ray. It's awesome.
And thank you for the encouragement. It means a lot.
Ray, when you get your Patreon up and running, let me know, okay? And we'll have you come on and talk about your Patreon and just have you on as a guest again.
All right. I will definitely do that. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, buddy.
Hey, Cobra.
Yeah.
Before I jump off the chat here, I will be sending you a link. I'm waiting for our merch girl to wake up because she's been asleep all day. But as soon as she does, I'll get her link and I will send that to you. Okay?
Okay, I do appreciate that. Yeah, I got a really cool shirt from the Head Trauma at the concert, and I definitely want to support them and pay for it. So, and also got the autographed drumsticks, and I want to thank you for that, buddy.
Yeah, man, you should put those up in your room for the camera.
They are. They're already in the studio area here, so you'll see them next time I go on camera.
Man, thank you.
Thank you,
What
buddy.
What concert was it? I didn't know you went to a concert.
Yeah, I went to Head Trauma. You hearing them right there? That's the drummer for Head Trauma, and they were on tour with Crazy Town, so I got to meet that guy.
If you guys want to check out the music videos, there's 2 on YouTube. Just look up Head Trauma. We have one called "Take Your Panties Off," and the other one is "American Greed."
I'm awake. What's happening?
He said, "I'm awake."
I'm awake. Panties, what?
No, he's not talking to you, Martin. He doesn't want you to take your panties off.
Oh, darn it. I'll put it back on then.
Oh, man. I'm glad it's late. I hope the kids are in
And
bed.
get banned from YouTube. Nice.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Cobra. Thank you, man. Once again, coming out. It was an honor meeting you, and you're an awesome guy. Just let everyone know. Cobra
Thank you,
is
buddy.
the best.
You are as well, man. You are as well.
Thank you, bro.
Cobra.
Santa Rose, always the most silent guest, dude. I thank you so much for being on here, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, and the last and final person who I want to have a few words, and I didn't know he was in a waiting room, is Forrest Gump.
Oh.
Forrest, you got anything about the Thrustmaster you want to talk about?
No, not really. I didn't know I was in the room.
Does Jenny ever call you a Thrustmaster?
Yeah, I'm a regular stud, I guess you would say.
Good night, Cobra.
Good night, buddy. Well, I'd be careful about being a Thrustmaster with Jenny. Didn't she have something that she wanted to tell you on when you came over, that she had some kind of like STD or something like that?
Oh shit! Oh no! I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick and check something.
I got coffee all over my TV. Well
Maybe you should watch it.
This Discord doesn't show video, does it?
No, it doesn't, buddy. But I think you need to go and rewatch your movie there, especially towards the end.
Okay. Hang on a second. Something feels weird down there. Why does it itch so hard? Hell.
Okay. All right.
Going to hell for that one.
Ooh, boy. Can I?
Forrest
You know, that's as dirty as this show has ever gotten. Can I call April Fools on that one too?
I'm calling April Fools. I didn't really have anything wrong with me. I'm good.
All right. Sorry to get you in here so late for us, but we got to go ahead and end it.
It's all good. It's all good. I actually woke up and noticed that y'all were on, so it's all good. I'll come back on another time, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Always love to have you on the show, Forrest.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, everybody, for coming on to the show. You guys have been the best guests.
Take care, bro. Take care. Good show.
Thank you, man.
Thanks,
Take
Cobra.
care.
Bye bye.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye, Cobra.
See you later.
Bye, Santa Rose.
Bye.
All right, guys. So I'm going to stay here for a while and read the chat. Something that I'm horrible at when I've got callers on. So definitely want to take time to pay attention to you guys. So what's up? What's going on? What do we got in here? One Word Thrustmaster says games for Sickets. I can never pronounce your name. Sickets. Excuse me. We got Panda saying, I wonder how his shrimp company is doing. Smurv, what's up, buddy? Johnny B, great stream, very entertaining and informative. Thanks to everyone on the show. Thank you, Johnny B. Gerd says, ask Jenny. We got Urdite saying, this was cool. I should join these more often. I would like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, I'd like to have you on the call. And you're just joined the Discord. Awesome, bud. Yeah, I would love to have you on the call on our next subcast. Infinite Lightning says, Cobra's reading the chat. Yeah. You know what I've noticed is that a lot of the times you guys are sitting in here and you're chatting, and I don't, if I read it, I can't hear, like, I stop listening. And Peaceful Gamer's the only one that's ever called me out on it. Like, sometimes if I hear, that's really awesome, if I say, that's really awesome, bro, that's really cool, that Peaceful Gamer knows I didn't hear what the person just said. So I definitely want to take the time and chat with you guys. So I figured get off the call with everybody and see how the chat's going. Great show, dude, says Cuzwalt. Thank you so much. April 1st, how ironic. James Clark says, thanks for the awesome show. Thank you, buddy. Vilmer says, oh boy, it's 1:46 a.m. and I have to wake up early to work. What have you done to me, Cobra? Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Bagheera says, thanks, Cobra. Great channel. It's a great channel because it's because of you guys. That's why. Thank you, Bagheera. We got Justin saying this show was one of the more humorous. Yeah. Usually they used to be really funny back in the day. Where's Taco? I don't see Taco, the drunken Taco anymore. What's up, Cobra? So how have your bones healed? Pretty good. I still walk with a limp. I was with Hidden Jew at head trauma, Aaron, and he was walking real fast, and I was sitting there limping, trying to keep up. I was really trying, but I couldn't walk very fast. But they're healing up pretty well. I'm back to work. Let's see. We got Alan Poe saying April Fools. It's April Fools jokeception. Yeah. Geeky Pikachu saying I barely said anything in there. You gotta speak up. You gotta speak up. It's like if you guys come on the subcast, normally we get a lot of people in, and I like that. I don't like taking calls and say, okay, thank you for your call, buddy, and hang up. I like to eventually to where it's like a bunch of us explorers met at a bar and we're all sitting around having drinks and having a chat, and everybody just speaks up when they want to speak up. So yeah, speak up more, bud. Urdite, they says they start at the same time, right? I'll def join. Normally, yes, I do 10 p.m. I was doing 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but 10 p.m. seems to work better for some people. Marky Mark says, now we all know Cobra. Yeah. Dark Lord, I hope for more pirate ships and more ships to buy. I'm with you, buddy. Virtually Grand says all-nighter. Yeah, it's been a long stream. Almost a 3-hour stream. Alan Poe, Dark Lord, planet-side battles would be good. Yeah, they would. Infinite Line says, Cobra, what are you hoping is the third update? Cities or variation or other? I hope that it's everything else on that list. More depth to base building, more depth to NPCs, more variation. Yeah, I would like to see cities. But not everywhere, right? Because they would get old, like people were saying. They would get old. But, I don't know, replace the trade stations with cities. Procedurally. Glad you're back to work, says JB. Thank you so much, buddy. Coswalt, do you think they will increase landing pads on trading posts, freighters, etc. to accommodate No Man's Sky Online 16-player lobbies? That's a good question. Need a lot more landing pads, wouldn't we? Imagine getting there late, you have to park on the grass. Playing with Rust Lord says, I'm back. I'm here just saying sorry. I said that I had a bad day and I'm new here. Hope you get your bones better. Oh, thank you, buddy. I do appreciate that. No, it's fine. I just happened to see your comment there, and I just wanted to, make people know, let people know they don't have to donate for me to read their comments and stuff like that. It's just really hard. We had a lot of people on the call today, like 15, 20 people, maybe not that much. I don't know. I can't remember. I hope we get part 3 to this update. Awesome. Got my wish. I hope this week we do get part 3. Third feature says Plo 617 will be walking NPCs enemies in space. Yeah, that'd be great. The Geeky Pikachu said I had some serious topics to talk about. I'm sorry, buddy. Multiple times, in fact, nobody said anything. I'm sorry. Maybe we couldn't hear you. I don't know. Maybe there was something wrong. We got Channel Scotty saying, I broke my leg a few days ago after your accident, and I still can't run too fast, but I'm glad you healed up pretty good, man. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Dave Langer says, variation is most important, especially for VR. I agree, Dave. I agree. The big question is, what is beyond online and what is beyond virtual reality? Games for sickets. So many things I want from this update. Can't wait to see what comes. Me too. I think 3 is going to be the grand finale. It's going to be huge. It's going to be better than online and VR. So they're saving the best for last. Justin L. saying, all I want are elevators. Well, won't they be like the stairs? Nobody takes the stairs, and if you use your jetpack, I think nobody will use I'll use the elevators. I will. Vilmer says the subcast was so long I even took a little nap in the middle there. Gerd says Gex make a great chicken substitute. Ooh, I like the way that guy thinks. Dave Langer says, oh, I'm losing track here. Dave says, like I said, I just have 3 main hub cities that are handcrafted. Okay, I see what you're saying. 3 main hub cities that are handcrafted, and the only way to get them is via that portal on Space Station. That's a good idea. Marky Mark, remember that time when Jason was listening to the... Yes! Mark, that was the funniest thing I ever heard. Yes, I remember that. What other games do I play? Says Banana Man. Space Engineers is probably one of my favorite games. I highly suggest Space Engineers. Alan Poe, get better bones with Thrustmaster. Yeah, that's right. Problem with Space Engineers is to start off, it's too grindy. But it is one of my favorite games. Sci-fi game Cat Henry says trade stations will look like a house party. Yeah, you're right. Matt Bear says Cobra Lewis Hubbard on YouTube pointed out that in the VR trailer, You can just see the ship canopy closing shut. Carlos E., I'm sorry I left the subcast too early. My internet decided to drop me off early tonight. I hate that, don't you? Cuzwalt says, Cobra TV, did you raise the horns for head? Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, I did. Geeky Pikachu, my settings showed that my voice was coming through. Snow, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You got you know that little puppy that just can't get to the milk, you know, when there's a litter, there's that little puppy just isn't getting that milk, where you gotta push a couple people to the side, come in there and get that milk, you know. That's a bad analogy. Okay, Alan Poe, quick, everyone, keep typing the chat. Cobra Reads Forever. I'm losing, like, this feels like Tetris. I'm getting up towards the top, and I'm, like, trying to get to the bottom. Gerd says, it'd be great if we could build mega stations to the house and collect freighters. We need space whales. Yes. We got Joshua saying, ship part swapping with different class parts, destroyed settlements, more base building parts, base defense systems, if there is some kind of PvP available, different climate regions on planets. Ooh, that is a great comment, Joshua. Sailor Muhammad saying, I think it will be a while before they reveal the third component. Reason being that the release is probably still well off. Summer doesn't start until June, and that's just the start of this interval. Yeah, I thought about that too, Sailor. I thought about, yeah, I mean, if they're releasing information once a week, and they're not releasing the game until the summer, I don't think the third one's going to come out for a while. You could be right, Sailor. Games for yeah, keep typing. Games for psychics. We got Connor Heaton saying, Cobra, is this footage modded? Yeah, it's modded. It's part of the RayRod mod. It's his footage, actually. Let's see. Taco Farts Part 3 will be tacos. Taco Farts, are you drunken taco? Taco poop. Part 3 will be tacos and toilets. Channel Scotty says, what is your absolute number one feature you want to be added to No Man's Sky? Variation. You know the 2% that RayRod says is only being utilized in No Man's Sky? I want to see more of that, right? I want to see more of that utilized. Justin says, Cobra, I'm starting to wonder if you know the difference between an L and an LOL. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Justin. An L and an I. Oh. I'm sorry. Games for Sega says, oh shoot, Cobra, do you have a multiplayer server for space engineers? Would like to start a battle or survival server with you? No, I don't. I usually just play it offline. I think we used to have one a while back when we had Bookshelf Gaming and some other people. But Alan Post says, I'd love it if we had to find ship parts and it was random when we found them. I agree. Plo, if you want to hold my Thrustmaster, you'd better have gloves. No glove, no love. That is right. Lotus Tree, thinking about doing a National Geographic-like documentary with No Man's Sky creatures. Y'all be interested in a channel like that? Lotus, yes. I've actually thought about doing it several times. I've got I got a couple of videos actually recorded that I never uploaded that are just like that, like National Geographic videos. But yeah, I would love to see you do that, man. Eurodite saying that would be dope. Previously Delicious. That's a really awesome name. Good way to describe myself. Does anyone think we will finally get a flying saucer style ship? I really hope so. That'd be really cool. Alan Poe, Lotus Tree, yes please. Dave Langer says they need to, at the very least, unlock all those extra variation ships they showed us pics of. Yeah, I agree. They got a lot of variation that they could utilize. And I guess that goes hand in hand with what RayRod said. They're only utilizing 2% of the engine, and we've seen tons of ships pre-release that they were actually generating. Justin says, I'm now wondering if you know how to read. I'm a bad reader. I'm a little dyslexic. Like, my dyslexia comes from, I don't know if it's dyslexia, but I start reading at the middle or end of a sentence, and then I have to go back and go to the front, and then I lose track and I go to the end. It's really strange. I've had that problem my whole life. Dang, okay, no worries, my man, says Games for Sickets. You are Godsmack says, how are y'all? PS Pro and VR are on standby. Yes, they are. Carlos E, want to know one game that would probably be amazing in VR? Space Engine. Ooh, yeah. They got to make that thing. They got to make that thing a game, though. I'm really wanting someone to take that and make it into a game. Alan Poe says, keep trying, make Cobra read it all. Enrico Bendito, sup, Godsmack. Bagheera, will you do any more Revenge of the Survivor type episodes? Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day, about bringing it back. I did bring it back, but then I wasn't happy with it. I was actually embarrassed about my episode when Next came out. And when I get embarrassed by something, I just quit. But yeah, Bagheera, yes, I've been really wanting to do that again. Are you showing gameplay of a modded version, says Sean Feeney? Yeah, this is RayRod's mod. It's from his YouTube channel. Just type in RayRod No Man's Sky, you'll find him immediately. Coswalt saying hi to Godsmack. LC Kaufman, I'm excited and really hope for bigger lobbies so PvP matches we run have more players and spectators. I agree. It would make the Galactic Thunderdome a heck of a lot better. Christopher Tharp, wow, this is a long one. Yeah, it is. Well, I need someone to help me if I jump into this game. Seems very deep. It's... If you follow what's at the bottom right-hand corner, it'll kind of tell you what to do. Sort of like a tutorial or a hint to what you do next. No. I mean, I think if you have somebody helping you, it would take away the, I don't know, some of the just experience of it. But the hints down at the bottom right will help you get right into it. Let's see. Dark Lord. I wonder if they will add more illegal goods in No Man's Sky. They only have Nip right now, and they have Sentinels scan you for illegal goods. That's awesome. Yeah. Dave Linger says, what is the difference between a W and a W? Very good. Justin, speaking of older content, are you going to do more lore type videos? I could. I was kind of inspired by something that somebody said tonight about talking about the Sentinels and the future war and things like that. So I was inspired to maybe look into seeing if I could get up enough content to do another lore video. Yeah. Games for Sickets says, yes, we need those ships. What happened to the starter ship from the old E3 trailers? It's in the game, but no one has ever found it. They need more ship variation. There's not enough. Sailor Muhammad says, would you like to see Waking Titan return for a third season eventually? Yes! I said no on the survey. I voted no. I didn't want it. I didn't want another Waking Titan. But I'm regretting saying no. And I have a feeling a lot of people said no, so Hello Games probably said, oh, okay, all right, we won't do it. Yeah. I kind of would. Playing with Rustlord says you're winning. You're going lower in the text. Shh. Christopher Tharp says, love the lore vids. I love making them. They're awesome. The Kiki Pichu, once you're done with this stream, can I call you via Discord? Yeah, for a few seconds, because I got to run here shortly. Alan Poe says, more plants and animals Not a Vampire says a W is a circle. Yeah. It's like an O. Well, it depends on how you... Well, if you put them together, it would make an actual W. Enrico Bandito says, if two witches watch two watches, wait. If two witches watch two watches, which watches which watch? Enrico Bandito. We get a donation from Bagheera. Nothing else to say, but wanted to buy you a couple cups of coffee. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you, Bagheera. Appreciate that, buddy. Taco farts. Because, well, it would be cool to see asteroids impact planets. Yeah, it would. Infinite Lightning says, I said yes to Waking Titan. It's fun hanging with you all. Yeah, I agree. I don't know why I voted no. I don't know. It was stressful. Especially that last one. It was stressful to cover. Charmin Gerd says, or stars going supernova. Cuswell says, Cobra TV, I really liked the flow of this episode. It was fun, guys. It was super fun. And thank you, Cuz. Alan Poe says, here's that $20 I owe you, Alan Poe. Wait, here's that $20 I owe you, Alan Poe, from Alan Poe. Enrico Benito says, sorry. No, that's fine. It was tongue twister. Your Godsmack says, I still hope for turrets and more cave animals. I agree. Justin says, following along with Waking Titan on the No Man's Sky Discord server was nuts, but fun as hell. I agree, too. I remember one time I popped in there on a live stream, and everybody just started saying hi because they knew they were being streamed. And, like, the mods for that were, like, yelling at me, saying that I was disrupting the investigation. That was funny. I loved it, actually. I loved disrupting the investigation. It was kind of fun. Wait, Alan, did you over-donate? If you over-donated $20, let me know. Alan says, thanks, Cobra, send me that $20 on PayPal. If you over-donated, let me know and I'll send it back to you. If you follow me on Twitter, just message me on Twitter and give me your details. Games for Sickett says, nice Big Era. Anyways, later, Cobro. See you in the next video on live stream. Night, everybody. Remember to take a step back and enjoy life. That's right, buddy. Not a Vampire said, No Man's Sky needs more chocolate. I don't know what that means. All right, Alan Post says he'll explain to me on Facebook. Okay, buddy. All right. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down for tonight. Martin Weckham Martin says I can donate a liver if needed. It doesn't make sense, Martin. That doesn't make sense, Martin. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Close it down for the night. I got to call Snow Obsidian real fast. And then, if something happens, we'll be back online, talk about it. But I don't think anything's going to happen for a while. Just like Sailor Muhammad said. Doesn't think it's going to come right away. They're going to drag this last one out. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. All right, guys. Love everybody. Everyone stay safe. Take care of yourself, and I will see you all in the next video. Until next time, everybody.